Welcome, everybody. Give me just a second. If you're watching on YouTube, this is just an announcement that the video will go private after 20, 30 minutes, somewhere around there. But you're more than welcome to come join us on Rumble or Twitch. I would prefer Twitch. That's my main platform now. Trying to stay pretty consistent with it, but just to let everybody on YouTube know, we are live, and the replay will be up tomorrow if you'd rather watch the replay on YouTube. So let me see here. Sorry. Give me just a second. Make sure everything's going well on YouTube. Looks like everything's going. Looks like we're ready to go. What's up? What's up, Rumblers? Red Pill Girlfriend. What's going on? It's August, so Derek Johnson must be getting ready to go to the Gitmo Tribunals. Yeah, he is for sure. Let me play the intro. Come on, Linda Benda. Show it to us.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Benda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Yeah, I was trying to skip. Uh-oh. Maybe I need a reboot. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here. I am Will Bard. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. We got a few things to go over tonight. A little bit of a late start again. Yeah, but we got a couple things to go over tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, you're more than welcome to watch there. The problem is it's only going to be like a preview of the video. We'll probably only be live there for like maybe 20 minutes or so. But the replay will be posted there tomorrow. If that's what you'd rather watch is the replay, you're more than welcome to that tomorrow. But this is just a backup, I guess, for notifications. It kind of works, right? People on YouTube get the notification too, because people tell me all the time, like, Rumble notification didn't work, right? I didn't get the Twitch notification. I didn't get this.
Why don't you come bring it at me?
Oh, no.
Instead of everybody else.
Jesus Christ. I'm not an asshole, but this will get my video demonetized. Somebody's got to make up that monetization money now, assholes. I am an asshole, kind of. That is true. And it happens sometimes. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. That was Austin. I feel deprived. I didn't get a pic of your junk. Well, somebody will share it with you. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. Again, it's not going to be live for long on YouTube, but you're more than welcome to join us over on Twitch or Rumble or any of those places, or watch the replay here tomorrow. So there you go. First of all, coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund. That's my website. Where you can see me screaming from a nice young Asian man's hairless sphincter. And you can also find all my links there. I got Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, Discord, and Bovada. Bovada is an affiliate link. You can also click any of these boxes over here to support the show. Buy me a coffee. You can leave us a text-based message that'll pop up on the screen, and I'll read it. You join our Patreon for extra content. There's a backlog of videos there. Plus, I try to do a couple videos a week there. I've been behind lately, honestly, but there's also the older Gun and Bomber. That's the older donation link. It's just Stream Elements. And beyond that, we have Dono Clip, where you can leave an audio or video message if you'd like. Audio or video message if you'd like. That's up to you. But we do appreciate the contributions to the show. You can also send Twitch bits. There's different animations that'll pop up for different amounts, all the way from 400 to 400, 600, 700, 1,000. Is there one for 800? I can't remember. Either way, check them out if you want to do that. The mods will let you know how to do it and contribute to the show. Keep it free for everybody else. It'd be great. First, the baby decapitation update. Let's see what we got.
And we just got an update within the last 30 minutes from the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office saying that they wanted to share some highlights. First of all, they say their office is actively investigating the death of the baby who they say was decapitated during childbirth. They also say that they did not know about the infant's death until they were contacted by a funeral home in Riverdale. They say it was not reported to them.
The medical examiner saying they did not know about the infant's death until they were contacted by a funeral home. Are you listening? That's what you need to take away from this. The hospital is saying, oh, no, we did everything right. The baby died before delivery. And they are saying, the medical examiner is saying no. If you missed yesterday's show, this is just wild. It was even on the YouTube preview, but this is a wild story. The hospital is saying they did everything right and notified the medical examiner. The medical examiner is saying they found out from a funeral home.
They say it was not reported to them until that point. The medical examiner's office is also requesting that several state agencies investigate the doctors and nursing staff's role in the.
And the medical examiner, separate from the. So the hospital is trying to play it off and say nothing's here, which you would kind of expect them to do. But even the medical examiner, which has nothing to do with the family. The medical examiner, which has nothing to do with the family that's suing, is like, hey, you need to inspect the hospital and all this staff. Something happened here.
Incident. And one of the statements, the hospital denies the allegations and says the doctor mentioned in the lawsuit is not an employee of the hospital. They say they have taken appropriate steps.
That's often the case. Usually, like your doctor is not an employee of the hospital, but they're allowed to operate there and make rounds there and come see you and perform deliveries or whatever, since we're talking about an OB.
In response to this unfortunate situation.
Now, there's another video I want to show you. I think I just have to get back. Okay, here we go.
Tonight, we are learning more about a lawsuit accusing a Clayton County hospital of malpractice in the death of a couple's baby. It names a hospital, a doctor, and the OBGYN practice where she works. You might remember this story from yesterday. The lawsuit alleges the doctor did not call for proper emergency procedures in a timely manner and says the baby was decapitated during delivery. The suit also accuses the hospital of hiding it from the family and from law enforcement. Well, in a new statement, Southern Regional Medical Center says it denies the allegations and says the baby died in utero, not during delivery. It says it.
So saying that they're basically saying the baby died not during delivery, right? Prior to the delivery and decapitation. So the baby was dead in the womb before delivery attempts even started. Like, she might have technically been in labor, but before any delivery attempts started, before any pushing, before any, like, you're fully dilated, before any of that is what they're claiming.
Did report the death to the medical examiner.
They say they did report the death to the medical examiner. The hospital voluntarily reported the death to the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office and is cooperating with all investigations. So they're saying they did report it, but the medical examiner is saying, no, we found out from a funeral home. You need to investigate these people.
Report the death to the medical examiner. But the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office says it learned about the baby's death when a funeral home called the office. It says the call came days after the lawsuit says the baby died.
I think it was 3 days after is when they found out. And it does seem like the hospital did. I got one more link. It does seem like the hospital did call the medical examiner and tell them 3 days after. 3 days after.
We're learning more about a lawsuit
one?
accusing a Clayton County hospital of malpractice in the death of a couple's baby. It names a hospital, a doctor,
one.
and the OBGYN practice where
There's
she
one
works.
more. I just don't know which
You
one
might
it is.
remember
Is
the
this
story from yesterday. The lawsuit alleges the doctor did not call for proper emergency procedures in a timely manner and says the baby was decapitated
three
during
links here
delivery.
that,
the suit also accuses the
somebody
hospital of
emailed me.
hiding it from the family and
Combing through new details.
Here's the last one.
Just into the newsroom after a couple filed a lawsuit accusing a Riverdale hospital of malpractice in the death of their infant. The hospital now claims the child died before he was born, not during delivery. And we are also learning more about when the child's death was first reported to the.
Oh, hey, Dad. Dad's in the chat. Hello from Florida. Dennis and Linda. What's up?
Clayton County Medical Examiner. 11 Alive's Molly Oak following those details for us. She is in the studio tonight with more.
Yeah, and there's several new
That's right,
details
Michael
today. We're
Roberts.
going to break down what
Twitch is
we've
awesome.
learned so far. Now, we first reported this one.
Twitch is a great platform. They're just making some stupid decisions. I need to check. I keep saying it, but I need to check and see if they've updated the Kick app.
A lawsuit was filed yesterday in Clayton County against the hospital, a doctor, and the OBGYN practice she works at. And we do want to warn you, the allegations in this lawsuit are graphic.
This is one of the most sad, egregious, and horrific
That's
situations that I've
funny,
ever
Mariah,
seen.
but that's not the claim. The claim is not that the head just popped off in the womb. They're just saying that the baby was dead prior to delivery and decapitation. So, like, the baby was already dead before any delivery attempts, and then the doctor pulled its head off. But that is funny.
On the morning of July 9th, lawyers say Jessica Ross went into labor. That night, after complications, Ross's attorneys say the doctor did not call for proper emergency procedures in a timely manner. Early July 10th,
Oh, I see
the
you,
lawsuit
Shannon.
says Ross
Yeah,
got a
maybe.
C-section.
It could have had a connective tissue disorder, but it seems like the hospital's fucked up so much to cover up, they'll never know. Yeah, and even if that does come out, the hospital fucked up and all the steps they could have possibly taken, even if it did have some type of disorder, you know what I mean? Like propping up the baby's head after they swaddle it and being like, there's your baby. Sorry it passed away.
The feet came out, the body came out, and there was no
That's right,
head.
Sky Moon.
The healthcare providers at Southern Regional Hospital, after this horrific incident, tried to hide what actually happened. And they also did not report the death to the authorities of Clayton County.
In a new statement released this afternoon by Southern Regional Medical Center, it sends its deepest sympathies to the family. The statement says, in part, it denies the allegations and says the infant died prior to the delivery. It also says it voluntarily
Delivery and decapitation. I don't know why none of the news people are saying that. It died prior to delivery and decapitation. So they're admitting that there was a decapitation.
prior to the delivery. It also says it voluntarily reported the death to the medical examiner's office. When I asked when the hospital reported the death, it said it could not comment because of the lawsuit.
So they said we did voluntarily report the death to the medical examiner's office because one of the claims is they didn't tell the police, because this could be like malpractice fucking murder, right? They didn't tell the police, they didn't tell the medical examiner, they didn't tell nobody. And they tried to get the family to cremate the baby. Now they're saying, oh, we did tell them. They're like, well, when? Oh, we can't comment on that. We can't tell you when.
However, the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office says a funeral home called them to tell them about the dead child, not the hospital. It says that call happened July 13th, days after.
The funeral home called and finally told the medical examiner, hey, this baby died at the hospital. Does anybody know?
The lawsuit
Nope.
says Ross gave birth. Both the medical examiner's office and Clayton County Police are investigating. The hospital also says that.
So it's a big deal to me that the medical examiner's office is calling for multiple agencies. Everybody that has a dog in this race should be investigating the staff and the hospital, whether it's the hospital staff or the OBGYN staff or whatever. The medical examiner, which has no dog in, I keep saying dog in the race, they have nothing to gain here. They're not suing. They're not getting a payday. They're not. The medical examiner's like, hey, you need to investigate these people.
Doctor involved is not an employee, though her medical license shows she does have privileges there. And we reached out to Premier Women's OBGYN practice. Its website shows the doctor works there.
Probably could
we
be
have not
tools.
heard back yet. Now, for more details on the lawsuit, head to 11alive.com. In the studio, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
I'm going to try to stay with this. I know like cases like this drag out for a long time, but I would like to stay with this and see if we can get somewhere with it and figure out what's going on, because that's just a wild fucking story. Next wild story. This is the headline. Are you ready? This is the headline. Dog hits child while driving golf cart in bizarre accident. Dog hits child while driving golf cart in bizarre accident. A 4-year-old girl in Michigan was injured Friday night in a bizarre incident involving a golf cart and a dog, fire officials say. The incident happened to Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. The incident happened at Blues, Brews, and Barbecue in Westland, Michigan, about 35 minutes drive west of Detroit. Westland Fire and Rescue said the department's arson dog, Bella, was sitting on the seat of the golf cart being used for the event. At some point, the dog jumped onto the floor and decided to lay across the accelerator pedal, causing the cart to lunge forward. Firefighters tried to steer the cart away from hitting anyone. Before the firefighters could bring the cart to a full stop, the golf cart hit a 4-year-old girl, and the passenger side front tire ran over the girl's left leg, Westland Fire and Rescue said. Paramedics immediately assisted the child for injuries. The girl was visibly shaken, but otherwise had no obvious injuries. Fire officials said the girl's mother refused treatment or transport to the ER. Fortunately, the child was back to eating popcorn within minutes of the incident, and within 10 minutes of the incident was back to jumping in the fire department bounce house, Westland Fire and Rescue said. Fucking dogs driving golf carts, man. Will talks faster than I can type with these tiny little buttons. Oh, you got fat fingers. That's the problem. What a weird fucking story to publish. This made national headlines that a dog hit a 4-year-old in a golf cart. What else we got? Before we cut YouTube, how long have we been live? Not long, right? 20 minutes. Before we cut YouTube, there is a song going viral, and it's a decent song. There's one part I take issue with, and that's like it talks about like welfare abuse, and the person it talks about is like a big fat woman apparently, like obviously fat people don't just abuse welfare, right? But I think it would have been more of a hit had they talked about like how much more expensive it is to eat healthy than it is. Like all junk food is cheap as hell and healthy food is expensive as fuck. I don't know. It's pretty wild, I think. Let's check this out. This is a song that's like literally blowing up. I think it's Anthony Oliver. Is that his name? It is. The name of the song is called Rich Men North of Richmond. Rich Men North of Richmond. And the reason I want to look into it is because basically, like, I know when the White House reports like inflation and employment numbers, and it seems like the numbers are doing better, but does anybody feel like they're in a better position? Anybody feel like they're doing better? Like, I feel like even if the numbers are going in the right direction, inflation down and jobs up and blah, 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 it doesn't feel like we're doing better, does it? I don't know.
Wilbur, this is Ramesh. I've come into a business opportunity you can't pass up. It's curly-haired suits.
Oh, no. Oh, curly-haired suits. Oh, no. Jesus Christ. So most people in America don't feel like, thank you very much for the dono clip. Most people in America don't feel like they're doing better, which I think is evident with this song. This is a country artist that has never had a big song as far as I know. His name is Oliver Anthony. Oliver Anthony, and his song is blowing the fuck up, like beyond viral, like insane. He's also a good musician, but still there's tons of undiscovered good musicians. I think it's the subject matter that made it blow up. Here's the song.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world. just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks.
So that line right there is I mean, true. There's a bunch of people on the Epstein flight logs, but it's also got the cucumbers all riled up. I wish rich men would look out for miners instead of miners just out on an island somewhere. That's got the cucumbers riled up. I do think like people like him, and what's his name, Tyler Childress or whatever, where they have like kind of like a raw, almost like grainy, unfinished like voice and different. I do think it's interesting that they are becoming more prominent in music, rather than like this auto-tuned kind of pop, everything sounds the same, even in country music.
I wish politicians would look out for miners and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. But God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond.
I think it says a lot that his song's going viral and it's about politicians in Washington, D.C. I think people are kind of fed up. Because it's literally being
I've been
shared
selling
everywhere.
my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
It's called Rich Man North of Richmond, obviously Washington, D.C. Yeah, I can't fucking support Upchurch anymore at all. Like, I'm not a country music fan. I'm just showing you this because it went viral. It's an all right song. I probably listen to it sometime, but fuck, I supported Upchurch because he was from Tennessee or whatever. He's a good success story of someone making it on their own. God damn, he's a fucking nut job. Last night he was on a live stream with this person named, we'll probably go over it sometime. This person named Squirrels on Fire, I think's the name of it. And she was saying that Xana May and the other YouTubers who are in doing this Kylie Rodney thing, the big conspiracy, send stuff to her computer to make it melt down to where she has to get new computers, and send a tone to her phone that makes it destroy itself. And she caught it on voicemail. Couldn't play it for us. She got it on voicemail. And Ryan's like, "Is that what's happening to all my stuff? That makes sense." God, he's fucking crazy as hell. I want to see this now. It says, "Show me your tits."
Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police.
If you're watching on YouTube, come join us on Twitch. You can also, I would rather you join us on Twitch, but you can also check us out over on Rumble or even Facebook. But the video will now go private over on YouTube, and the replay will be up tomorrow sometime between 10 and 11 a.m. So I'll schedule it tonight, usually like 10:30, 10:45, something like that. I just randomly, whatever's closest when I click it. But you can see the replay tomorrow on YouTube if that's where you prefer to watch, or you can watch it live with us or hang out till you fall asleep tonight on Twitch, whatever you want to do. But thank you guys. There we go. YouTube's loose. All right, let's see. This says cops arrest for DUI, then this happens.
Today, we're looking at a case where a police officer arrested her supervisor who crashed into another vehicle as a result of being under the severe influence of alcohol. We will see how the officer remained honest with her duties, but still treated the supervisor much differently.
Why did it say
On
show me
January
your
1st,
tits?
2021, while driving near Newberry Road in Gainesville, Florida, Corporal Scott Birdsick of the Gainesville Police Department reached for his lighter and collided with a vehicle ahead of him that had just begun moving at a green light. Although there were no injuries at the scene, the individuals in the other vehicle involved.
Shattered underscore pieces gifted Gillismum a subscription. Shattered underscore pieces gifted a tier 1 sub to Gillismum. They
Thank
have
you very
given
much.
9 gift subs in the channel.
5 times gifted T1 shattered. Thank you very much. That was Austin. Also, I saw Nana Griffin was here for 14 months of subscriptions. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. I think I've seen this before. I don't remember the show me your tits part that it showed in the thumbnail, but I thought I remembered this guy rear-ending somebody. Does he say show me your tits on here?
Involved in the accident promptly dialed 911 for medical attention. In response, Gainesville police officer Brooke Shutterly responded to the scene and immediately recognized Corporal Birdsick. This entire incident was captured on Officer Shutterly's body cam.
That's right. You ready to back me? You're trying to do what we gotta do before I can go, man. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Trying to get away.
I tell Mariah to show me her tits all the time. That's like a normal everyday thing, but I wouldn't do it to. Never mind.
Okay. And you are silver card?
I don't want to lie to you guys.
Okay. If you want to go back over there, I'll come get your info in just a second. All right. So,
That's interesting. He says, you wait over there. I'll come back and get your information. That definitely made some separation before she's going to say, hey, we work together, huh?
Yeah, reached out for my lighter, slammed into his ass.
Cool.
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
You didn't want to do an information exchange?
He does. Now I found it.
Okay. Well.
You know, it's just information exchange. Now I found it.
Okay. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
He sounds drunk as fuck.
Your car.
No, absolutely.
Well.
What'd she say? Hold on.
Okay.
You know, it's just information exchange. Now I found it.
Okay. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Your airbag went off. Your car.
Oh, your airbag went off and your car's fucked up.
No, absolutely. Which I just
That sucks. Police Neil's off. He can come give you a ride.
Oh no, Daly, I'm glad you're all right.
Do you want me to let him know you found the insurance? Well, maybe you should not do that then. So, you want me to let him know you found your insurance, see if he wants to do information?
Dr_J_banana gifted Jeff Bork a subscription. Dr_J_banana gifted a tier 1 sub to Jeff Bork.
Thanks for interrupting the show, Dr. J.
Subs in the channel.
Jesus. Thank you very much for the gifted sub. I appreciate it.
Exchange?
That's fine.
Right off the bat, it goes without saying that Corporal Birdsick did not appear to be sober.
No, he sounds drunk as fuck.
His speech was slurred and his movements were slow, both of which indicated that he was under the influence of something. Regardless, Officer Shutterly walked over to the other driver who was rear-ended by Corporal Birdsick and spoke to him about the options he had. Officer Shutterly informed him that he could either contact his insurance company and have it sorted out independently, or he could go ahead with an investigation, which would involve a police report on the crash.
So, he mentioned you guys had talked about exchanging information, but he hadn't had his insurance pulled up. We have a couple options with this. It's really cut and dry, so if you want to just go through insurance, you can. If you want a full-fledged report, we can do that. However you want to go about it.
Better get that report.
It usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes.
He asked how long a report take.
For me to get the driver's exchange done.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get your driver's license and if you have your registration as well?
Oh, good Lord.
And are you the registered owner of the car?
His pants
Did
are
you have any
off.
passengers?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Is he still here? Okay.
I've had Mariah in that position more than a few times.
Is the guy with the hat on?
Yes, ma'am. This right here.
Yes, sir.
This right here.
Yeah.
License.
All right. And you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can see my insurance card.
It should auto-populate. If it doesn't, I'll come get it from you, okay?
I think I got it right here.
So a couple things. One, do you mind giving me like a couple feet? One, because I like personal space, and two, because cigarette smoke, it tears me up a little bit. Give me just, like I said, it'll probably take me about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll get that done for you, okay? No, we don't take pictures of it, because crashes are civil. Yeah, whenever we do any kind of crash reports or anything, unless there's a DUI involved or, like a hit and run or something, a criminal aspect.
As we've just seen.
Unless there's a DUI involved. Uh-oh.
The driver went with the option.
Right, look at that. You've been hemmed up in your car like that. Don't tell me you haven't.
Of carrying out an investigation.
Here, I'll give you a better view of it. There you go. There you go. Look at that.
And filling out a crash report. Officer Shutterly then got a hold of the driver's documents and other necessary information, officially initiating her crash investigation. According to state law in Florida, you're required to report an accident immediately to the Florida Highway Patrol or police if any of the following occurs: death or injury, a hit-and-run accident, an accident caused by an intoxicated driver, or an accident that results in property damage of over $500. You must also file a car crash report in Florida with the Department of Motor Vehicles within 10 days of the accident.
It does look like it's more than $500 worth of damage.
In this case, since the driver had dialed
That's thousands of dollars worth of damage.
for medical attention, implying that injury was involved, it could be said that filing a car crash
Dialed 911 for injury. So there you go.
report was mandatory. But regardless, since the driver went with the report anyway, it appears that everything was going as per usual protocol.
We don't usually take photos.
It was sitting at the light.
Yeah.
It was just going to take for us to go.
I'm just trying to figure out which lane you were in. So you're
in the far left lane.
All right, Birdie, he wants to record. You got your driver's license?
Absolutely.
She ain't making it clear that he's a cop either. Like, she separated them immediately, even though the guy wasn't like arguing or fighting or screaming or nothing, right? She separated them immediately and then had this conversation with him. This seems strange.
Think the car's registered to you?
Yep.
Thank you. You know I don't need that. Should hypothetically auto-populate. Give me a second because I'm going to call Priester and see if he needs me to do anything special since it's one of us.
Yep.
So, here, give me a minute. Sorry, Birdie. Hey, this crash, Birdie, so come work it? Okay. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've worked a crash with one of us in it, so. No, he's not on duty. He's in his POV. But I just didn't want there to be any, like, conflict of interest type issues. All right, that was it. I just want to make sure. All right, bye.
As seen in the footage, Officer Shutterly quite literally proved that when law enforcement is involved in such incidents, they're treated much differently. At one point, Officer Shutterly even had to ask dispatch whether she had to do anything special considering Corporal Bertzik was involved. She even told Corporal Bertzik that Neil, a fellow law enforcement officer, could come pick him up if needed. However, it's worth noting that Officer Shutterly did her due diligence and made sure there wasn't a conflict of interest in the investigation. This was further evident when Officer Shutterly soon realized that Corporal Bertzik did not appear okay, and she asked him numerous times if everything was all right. She even asked Corporal Bertzik whether he needed
So
EMS
is she
to come
claiming that she didn't notice it? I'd noticed he was drunk immediately when he started talking.
check him out. All of this was, of course, due to the fact that Corporal Bertzik was drunk, and this is soon pointed out by Officer Shutterly.
Can't hold on to his license.
Wait on his way?
Huh?
Wait on his way?
He's not coming.
Black pants, white shoulder bag, black beanie.
Good?
White gloves. Walking home, but yep, I'm good.
I'm sure Neil would come get you if you need. I mean, he's up. I texted him.
Yeah, she's gonna get, I think in her head, she knows he's drunk. And she's trying to let it go, but eventually it's going to be so apparent that she's going to have to say, okay.
You don't need EMS?
No.
Hey, man, your airbag deployed. I got to ask.
No.
All right.
One of them days.
Yep. All right. Here's that back. And then I'm not sure where your brother went, but I have his license too. Oh, okay. I'm going to just go hand this to him real quick, and then we'll be done. Hello. I should give you your license back. Thank you, sir. Are you on the phone with the insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what they're asking for is this number right here. That's the report number. And then they're probably going to ask you all of this information. This is all of his vehicle information, insurance, owner, driver information, and then all of your information as well. Just so you know, the state of Florida has a 14-day window in which to report injury. You don't usually feel it the first night, but if you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh gosh, it hurts, let your insurance company know, and they'll set up a doctor's appointment for you, okay? All right, do you have any questions for me, sir? Yeah. Well, they're pretty straightforward. If you do have any questions, my name is on the bottom of the page. You can call us, reference that case number, and I'll answer any questions you might have, okay? All right.
That's it.
All right. I hope you have a better night.
You know, this guy probably engaging with him before the cops arrived probably knew he was drunk too. You would think. I wonder if he told him he was a cop or
bring it in the new year with a bang.
Yeah, I seen that comment. I thought he was going to stop. So,
yeah.
Boom.
Yep. All right. Good luck with it.
Are they still in it or no?
Yeah, he's still in it.
Is he really?
This is New Year's Day, 2021, by the way. So he's drunk from a New Year's party.
So, Bertie, you giving me some indicators? Listen.
Shit, woman.
Listen.
Shit, woman. Do them dishes. Make me a whiskey sandwich.
Valdez is coming out just to... I'm not going to lie to you about it.
She's on her way?
Yeah, she's on her way. Because I'm not really comfortable with this whole thing at all, but I'm not going to lie to you about it.
Oh, no. I don't mean to put you in that, Indy. Yep.
Yeah.
God, this guy right here reminds me so much of my old boss. I used to have a boss that would get drunk and man, he was shitty when he was drunk. He didn't fuck with me as much as he did other people, but a couple times, he pissed me off and I cussed him the fuck out and thought I wouldn't have a job the next day, but the next day he would be completely fine, like nothing fucking happened. Like nothing fucking happened. It was crazy. Man, it was wild.
So, from now on, you know how it goes. You can't consume anything, okay? Because right now, you're being detained.
Wait, what?
I'm holding on to you because I have a supervisor coming to see if I need to do a full-fledged DUI investigation or not. So please don't make my life difficult.
I was going to do that to you.
Okay. I'm very uncomfortable right now.
And I apologize for putting you in that position.
Okay.
Now is Officer Chuck.
Just the way he talks, I guess. Like the way his speech is slurred, and he start a sentence and he'd be like, "Yep." I don't know. It reminds me of my old boss. Dude, he was such a fucking dick. I saw him. He was really close with one of the guys on the crew. They were from the same area. We were working out of town, but they were from basically the same area in Virginia. And one of the younger guys on the crew that I roomed with was his son's friend, and he got him on there and worked for him or whatever. I seen him punch him one time in the shoulder real hard. And then the guy went to punch the boss back, and he's like, "You're not gonna hit me." Man, it was always like walking on eggshells when he was drinking, and that's immediately what he did. As soon as he fucking got off, he started drinking liquor. All the way up until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. The next morning, he'd be wide the fuck awake at 5 a.m. chewing on gum like he was methed out, like chewing as fast as he fucking could. It was like disarming a bomb around that motherfucker when he was drunk.
Utterly stated she had called for another supervisor to arrive on the scene.
It was more stressful than work. It was more stressful than work was.
To assist her with what was initially a crash investigation, but is now a DUI investigation due to the indicators that Corporal Bertzik was giving.
Wait, what?
Watch as Corporal Bertzik asked Officer Shutterly whether her body cam was running or not. We can assume several different reasons as to why he asked that. But regardless, Officer Shutterly made sure to tell him that she will keep the body cam running no matter what. This was when Corporal Bertzik started to realize that he made a big mistake. It's also worth noting that Officer Shutterly informed Corporal Bertzik that he could not consume anything now, as per the investigation. This included cigarettes, beverages, or anything of that sort.
So he shouldn't be consuming anything. They usually let cigarettes slide, but they don't want you chugging a bunch of water, or trying to dilute, or coffee to be more alert. They just stay in the shape you're in right now. But they usually let cigarettes or the vape or dip or whatever. They usually let it slide.
Are you on?
Yes.
He be just trying people the way. Yeah. It was always like he had this like chip on his shoulder. And then he got really mad at us this one time because I worked mostly East Coast crew. I mean, I worked all over the nation, but my bread and butter was like East Coast jobs. A lot of Dominion Power, a lot of Virginia and New York State and Florida and anywhere in between, right? Pennsylvania a lot. But occasionally we get jobs other places. And sometimes our supervisor, our foreman, would hold seniority and he would be a foreman on those jobs. But sometimes they already had foremen, so they just needed manpower. So what would happen is he could either go or not, but he wouldn't be in a foreman position. He'd basically be like a lead man instead because they already had foremans. So he'd actually be working on his tools. And we all went to Texas one time for like these 5 jobs that were going to pay killer. There were 5 jobs in Texas we were going to do. We were going to do like one for 2 weeks, then go to the next one for 2 weeks, then go to the next one for 2 weeks. No, it was 3 jobs. Go for one for 2 weeks, the next for 2 weeks, next for 2 weeks, then go back to the first one, finish, go back to the second one, finish, go back to the third one, finish. It ended up being 6 total, like half jobs. And each time they were going to pay us like I drove all the way from Tennessee. So every 2 weeks, on top of my pay and on my per diem, I was getting like a $2,800 check for travel. Like I was traveling from my house because we had to go all the way out to Texas in like emergency thing. They were paying us extra. But he came out and worked on his tools for like a week. And he's like, I'm not doing this. You know, I'm too old, whatever. So he went back. And after we finished all those jobs and got back with him, he blamed us for him not getting jobs because we were his crew, but we were out in Texas, blah, 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 doing like he held like these weird grudges against people that worked for him. And we were like winning him awards and shit. We had like one of the best crews in the whole company. We were setting records on shit and winning him awards and stuff. But when he got drunk, man, what he really thought came out all the time. It was just crazy.
Yes,
I can't believe I worked for him that long, to be honest with you, because he had a couple blow ups where I thought we're either going to fight or I'm going to get fired, but we didn't.
Going to remain on, because integrity.
When he said you on, that was him asking about the body cam. You on? Integrity. That's right, Jules. Everybody's fault but his. Yeah, I've got some stories on that foreman. Crazy stories.
You know you can't smoke right now. You can't consume anything. Because if I'm going to do a DUI investigation, it impedes it, so you can't consume anything.
Again, usually, especially if they think it's going to make it more combative or whatever, like they'll let cigarettes slide unless they're actually doing. You can't do it during the test, the actual test. Obviously, you can't pull it out, blow on a breathalyzer, and then hit a fucking rip another dart. But like while they're waiting on something or waiting on backup or whatever, they usually let cigarettes slide. Seems like a point of contention for sure. Is he smoking cloves? Look at that black cigarette. Oh, you guys can't see it because chat. Hold on. Most of the video, he's standing over on this side. I guess I should have changed it before. Is that a clove? Could be. Maybe he's a 14-year-old girl. It's a pumpkin spice clove. Puts it right back in the box.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I would think, Shattered.
While they both waited for the supervisor to arrive.
If you're waiting on backup, or I've been in cases where like where I got pulled for like a DUI and they don't, not everybody has a breathalyzer on them. Only certain units have breathalyzers, and we'd be waiting on a breathalyzer or whatever. They'd let me dip or smoke or probably even drink something if I wanted to. I never pushed it, but I don't think cigarettes should be the big deal.
Corporal Bertzik claimed that he was not drunk, but rather angry and tired. However, that certainly didn't appear to be the case. He was visibly unsteady on his feet, spoke in an incoherent manner, and was laughing for no apparent reason. Soon enough, though, a second officer arrived and proceeded with the DUI investigation.
When does he say, show me your tits?
It's out there.
I mean about this.
I'm not drunk.
Apparent reason.
Hold on, let's
Soon
see what
enough,
he's saying.
though, a second officer arrived and proceeded with the DUI investigation.
I'm not going to say anything.
It's out there.
I mean about this.
I'm not drunk. I'm tired.
He's definitely swaying. Y'all are right. I'm glad Rumble chat's so active. Good job.
She did it.
He's not laughing for no apparent reason, okay? That is... He's saying, oh, she did it, officer. Like, I do that when I'm pissy at Mariah. I'll be like, oh, you just gonna do that, huh? Because I know it drives her crazy. He's not laughing for no apparent reason. He's laughing because the remark he just made, he's thinking, why I oughta to the moon with you.
What the f***, man?
Toronto 23, you have all channels, 1014.
That's right, Sky Moon.
Divorce is divorce.
Since divorce, well, fuck. Sounds like this should be an intervention.
Not really.
So he's not incoherent. She knows what he's saying because she answered. He said something about my fucking friends, and she said not really. So to pretend like he's incoherent and I'll make it's not that bad.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. Not.
That is a really cute dog. You can't consume it.
Wait, he's smoking. He's smoking. He said, I want to get that dog. And she's like, that's a really cute dog.
I want to get that dog. That is a really cute dog.
Look at
Can't
him.
consume anything. You're killing me.
Trying.
Come on. So,
What's too late now?
Question, did you just have somebody else roll up? Okay. I think they're with him, because he was still in the car.
He's free to go?
Yeah, he's
or-
good.
Okay, is he just hanging out?
Yeah, because his car's all jacked up on the back.
Okay, so we have him a tow, or what is he doing exactly, I guess?
I think his sister is coming to pick him up.
Which is the car that rolled up?
I think so, because she was here earlier, took his brother, and then now I guess is taking him.
They seem very concerned. They seem very, very, very concerned with the guy that he hit is still hanging out in the parking lot.
Pissed. Do what you gotta do.
Even though Corporal Bertzik was told that he was not allowed to consume anything, he ignored Officer Shutterly and started to smoke.
Anything can be really creepy when you whisper it. Like, yeah, you can make anything like a total a total completely normal fucking statement. Like if I go to Mariah and I'm like, I'm gonna put you in the corner and then I'm gonna use the broomstick. That could be creepy, right? Just because I whispered it. And that's a normal statement I say 3-4 times a day, probably.
Ran up to Corporal Bertzik and put the cigarette out. This begs the question, if a normal citizen had acted this way, would they be treated just the same? Anyway, Officer Shutterly proceeded with the investigation and carried out a series.
I do think if a drunk person had smoked a cigarette, they probably would have just took it from him and put it out, yeah. I wouldn't think they'd be like, you're trying to beat it, you're going to jail.
A field sobriety test to determine whether Corporal Bertzik was under the influence of alcohol or not. And as expected, he performed poorly and made it crystal clear that he was way too drunk to operate a vehicle, and that's what caused the accident. Watch as Corporal Bertzik attempted to it. He performed poorly and carried out a series of field sobriety tests to determine whether Corporal Bertzik was under the influence of alcohol or not. And as expected, he performed poorly and made it crystal clear that he was way too drunk to operate a vehicle, and that's what
he performed poorly and made it clear that he was way too drunk to operate.
Caused the accident.
I thought he had admitted or something to it.
Watch as Corporal Bertzik attempted the horizontal gaze in the status.
I do too.
The walk and turn, and the one.
There's been several times where I've walked into a place where obviously vaping's not allowed, and just out of habit, especially if I get bored or kind of like anxious immediately.
Like stand.
Well, we're gonna go to the back of Sergeant's car.
I've even had my hand empty, but like holding my phone in a weird way where it doesn't feel like my phone, like not like looking at it and holding it, or holding something else in my hand, and habit will make it bring it up to my mouth like I'm gonna vape, like I'm gonna fucking hit it, but.
That's where my clipboard is. That's where the most level ground is, and there's a line.
I want to hear him say, "Show me your tits." Why does it say rewind? It looks like they're going forward.
Go ahead and face me. All right. Like so.
Leaning. Leaning.
Okay. I'm trying to find the most flat spot.
I'm trying. But I mean, it's leaning.
Here, let's do it this way.
I'm good.
Go ahead and stand here.
He does seem pretty cooperative, if nothing else. I mean, he's got to be pissed he's going to DUI, but they've already altered the test for him. I bet you they wouldn't do that for a normal person.
So you're going to stand like this until I advise you to do otherwise.
That's right. I'm trying, but it's leaning. The world's leaning.
It'll be like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going to take a series of small steps to turn around and return back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you understand the instructions? You may begin the test.
This is not the one I've seen. I'm trying, but it's leaning, bro.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, man. You went straight to Captain Morgan, bro.
Do you want to finish?
Ask him if they give you a couple hours to sober up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, he does better uphill.
Now, it could be said that Officer
He did a lot better uphill, okay?
Shutterly had more than enough evidence and clues to conclude that Corporal Bertzik was severely drunk. However, as per protocol, she continued on with the last test, the one-leg stand. Unsurprisingly, Corporal Bertzik performed very poorly once again. Watch as he first made excuses to justify his poor balance.
You know why I don't do DUIs? Why? I can't fucking demonstrate.
Yeah.
I don't have balance to demonstrate.
He doesn't have enough. He doesn't do DUIs because he doesn't have enough balance to demonstrate the test.
It'll look like this: 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth. Do you understand the instructions? You may begin the exercise.
He touched. He touched.
2008, 2009, 2010, 2011.
About to fall over.
12, 13, 14.
You can stop.
Perfect.
Soon enough, both officers on the scene decided to take Corporal Bertzik into custody for DUI. Now,
That's a pretty sweet wide.
even though this was the right move, watch as the officer stated that they were
He
not
got to know the test forwards and backwards, you would think.
going to place Corporal Bertzik in handcuffs, but eventually ended up doing so after his insistence. Corporal Bertzik wanted them to place him in handcuffs merely because they had body cams that were running. One would wonder how different this encounter would have been without body cams.
Sure. I mean, I've heard tons of stories. Like back in the day, they used to just give each other a ride home. I've had a cop give me a ride home one time when I was drunk. No, he followed me. That's what it was. He followed me when I was drunk. And probably would have failed. I mean, I wasn't like shit-faced, like falling over drunk, but I'm pretty sure he knew I was drunk and probably wouldn't have passed the sobriety test. He followed me home.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Take him around to your driver's side.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Put them on.
Put him on.
Oh, yes, you are, because they're watching.
Ooh. So she wasn't going to cuff him, but he's like, yes, you are, because they're watching. Wow. He's even looking out for her.
Yes, you are. They're watching.
Okay. We'll cuff you over by my car.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
They're watching.
Yes.
That's kind of wild. He's looking out for them.
You've been compliant. Can I at least cuff you in the front? It's got the hinge locks. Okay. So, good to go?
Why did the caption say, show me your tits? Are you kidding me? Did this not happen?
Can I uncuff you now?
Wow. Damn. That was a leaf blower, I think. But that is weird, isn't it? Somebody out there fucking doing landscaping at 3 a.m. Or I guess right after. This is 3 a.m. Yeah, 3:09:13 on the East Coast. She even said, can I uncuff you now? I told everybody that I was going to make the video private because I only do a preview on YouTube. That's why the video went private. The replay will be up tomorrow.
Corporal Bertzik was arrested and taken to jail, where he later provided two
I don't
breath
do
samples.
the full live on YouTube.
According to the DUI and administrative suspension laws published by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, it stated that, under Florida law, driving under the influence of alcoholic beverages, chemical substances, or controlled substances is one offense, proved by impairment of normal faculties, or an unlawful blood alcohol or breath alcohol level of 0.08 or above. Keeping this breath alcohol concentration limit in mind, Corporal Bertzik's results came out to 0.156% and 0.153%.
0.156, 0.153%,
respectively, both of which were almost double the legal limit.
Yeah,
ultimately,
almost.
Corporal Bertzik was charged with driving under the influence with property damage and eventually pleaded no contest to the misdemeanor charge. Corporal Bertzik was sentenced to fines totaling $974, 50 hours of community service, various substance abuse and DUI classes, and a 6-month driver's license suspension. He was also subsequently sued by the driver and passenger of the vehicle he struck, and a settlement was reached in that case. Then, as a result of an internal investigation by the Gainesville Police Department, it was concluded that Corporal Bertzik had violated departmental policies. He received a written employee notice, a 5-day.
It says pleading guilty or nolo contendere to or being found guilty by a jury of a court of misdemeanor involving physical violence, theft, driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or possession or sale of drugs, regardless of whether or not adjudication is withheld and probation is imposed. Corporal Bertzik received a written employee notice, a 5-day, 40-hour suspension without pay, and the execution of a last chance agreement and release.
Suspension without pay, and the execution of a last chance agreement and release. In the course of the internal affairs investigation, Corporal Bertzik alleged that he was not impaired at the time of the crash, and that he had prepared and consumed a very strong alcoholic drink during the course of the crash investigation. It is unclear whether Corporal Bertzik,
during the investigation, he was drinking. He wasn't drunk during the crash. He was drinking after the crash to calm his nerves. Hell, he was just in a crash.
is still employed at the Gainesville Police Department as of the date of this recording. Be sure to check out our previous video.
Why the fuck did the thumbnail say, show me your tits? That kind of pisses me off now. Let's go here and I'll show you what the thumbnail looks like. Is that not what it said? Did I misread it? Show me your titties. Is that not what that says? Clickbaiting motherfuckers. That's what that says right there, right? I'm so pissed I watched that whole thing. Show me your titties. That's what it says. Show me your titties. Damn it. I got clickbaited. I love titties. I was just trying to see some titties. I'm sorry. I apologize. Here's a good cop video before we go to Phil. Here's a good cop video. Check this shit out. You want to talk about a good shot. All right, so what you're going to see is security cam footage. We have a suspect fleeing on foot. He runs into a security guard shack In the shack, there is a Sikh or an Indian man, maybe Indian, probably, and he has a knife. The suspect threatened to kill the hostage with his knife. That's what we got going on. Okay, he's got a knife. He's got a hostage now. The cops were already chasing him. We saw them pull up. He's got a knife. He's got a hostage. Let's see how this plays out. At least the security guard guy didn't just become a victim. He's trying to resist, right? That's good. He's fighting back. He's holding his hand. He's trying to keep him from doing anything. Somebody looks in the security guard office right there. And then the cops show up. So what you're seeing here is the cops are looking at him through this door, but they don't want to come too much out in the open. But they've got a good line of sight on him. He sees them, they see him, and they're talking back and forth. The man is still fighting back and forth with the knife, right? He doesn't want the guy to stab him. He didn't just say, do whatever, man, and let him put it like on his throat or anything. So that's good. Okay, he yells at him a couple times. They're yelling back and forth. He looks away, looks down at the hostage. Oh, he must be narcoleptic. He fell right asleep. Did you see that? He just fell asleep. What is going on? That was wild. Narcolepsy, man. He looks down, looks at the hostage. Oh, go to sleep. Good night. Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus. It gets better. We got body cam. He just went right to sleep. Narcoleptic, I think. He's a necromancer. Ain't that the word for it or something like that? Narcophiliac.
Hey, somebody in there? Back away! Back you gotta put that down. Back away! We'll back up. Put it down. Back off of me now! Go! Put your fucking leg!
Okay, they see him. The suspect's gonna yell, "You're fucking with me."
I'll fucking stab him.
I'll fucking stab him. Go. Oh. Oh. That guy fell right asleep. That guy fell right asleep. That is strange.
Okay, are you okay, son? Are you okay? Are you okay?
He went right to sleep, didn't he? Jesus Christ. If you go back to the original footage, let me see. Will this pause? Pause. You can see the, like a pink mist here. Hold on. He looks to the right at something. Then he yells at his hostage, and then boom, destroyed. Jesus. Good shot though. Good shot. He actually shoots twice. So once while he's standing there, and then once on the way down while he's falling, he shoots again before the other guy runs in. You can see it again on the body cam. You hear both shots. He's a goner.
Hey, somebody in there? Back away! You gotta put that down. Back away! We'll back up. Put it down. Back off of me now! Go! Put your fucking leg! You're fucking with me! I'll fucking stab you! Go! Go!
Yeah, if you're shooting for the head, you imagine a T, right, from eyeball to eyeball, and then down the nose, the center of the nose, and that would be the T. Would be your spot to hit, or an X, or whatever you want to call it. 2 shots.
Go.
Put him right to sleep, though.
Okay, are you okay, son? Are you okay? Are you okay?
It's wild,
Pastor
man.
kicks out another member of the church after he thought was betraying the church like Judas.
Hey, get out!
We've seen this
Get out
before,
of here,
haven't we?
idiot! Pick him up and take him out if he won't leave.
You need to pray
for him. This is not. Pick him up. Hey,
Judas
get out of here! I didn't ask you. You've never even been here, fool. Get out!
Somebody says you need to pray for him, and he's like, "Get him out of here too, fool."
Get out! Get out. You don't just walk in here and start telling us how to run the church. We got a bunch of filthy faggots kids out there protesting us.
Whoa. Whoa, preacher, gamer word, bro. Jesus Christ.
Right now, we're in a battle right now. Get out of here. Maybe ask your advice. Pick him up and get him out of here if he won't leave.
He's a child.
Pick him up and carry him out of here if he won't leave.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time. Now look, if I will listen to people who...
That one has a kid with him. That guy has a kid with him. Someone even said, like, he's got a... Jesus
actually
Christ.
are members of our church who actually attend here, not a first-time visitor. Yeah. Does somebody, if somebody thinks that there's...
You think if he was there to troll you or do something, he would bring his kid with him?
Reason why they should be allowed to stay, let me know.
This is my church. This is Pastor Jeff. He personally talked me through my teenage years. We have a special handshake.
Because I see it as just pure evil to come to a church and sow these kind of lies about the pastor without even coming to the pastor one time. Amen. Yeah. And even telling him that you have a problem. Just going behind his back. I just can't think how a normal person would go to a church. And he already knew that I believed all that when he came to this church.
Right.
And look, if people are going to go behind the back and backbite and be a Judas and make railing accusations, this is what's going to happen.
I didn't even mean to click on this video.
And it's okay to disagree. And I don't want. And look, I already know that there's people that are going to go out of here and lie about me and say, "Oh yeah, anybody who disagrees with Pastor Anderson gets thrown out."
Jeff Anderson.
Anybody who says that is a liar. That is not true. You do not get thrown out for.
It took me several years of therapy to learn that what we did was not actually called a special handshake, a secret handshake, a don't tell your parents handshake. It was actually just a hand job, but I got really good at it, and I've been giving Mariah some pointers.
For disagree, you get thrown out for going behind people's back and trying to.
There's a baby cooing on the video. The people that take their kids to churches like this, I've told you before, I think some of the churches I went to as a kid could technically be classified as child abuse. This one definitely is.
At the church and for rebuking people just for defending the pastor and insulting all of us. He didn't just.
I don't know if they post about him on 4chan, but he's very famous for being this outlandish, crazy guy here.
Insult me. Anybody who supports me on.
Poor Will, you learned the hard way. I didn't always learn the hard way. Sometimes it was rather flaccid, but it always ended the hard way.
The doctrine of the sodomites. Okay, well, you know what? He insulted all of you because he said that everybody, he even used the word.
Did he say the Church of the Sodomite? Hold on.
For rebuking people just for defending the pastor and insulting all of us. He didn't just insult me. Anybody who supports me on the doctrine of the sodomites. Okay, well, you know.
Oh, the doctrine of the sodomites. Okay.
But he insulted all of you because he said that everybody, he even used the word everybody is just quoting Pastor Anderson and they're not quoting the Bible. That's what he said. I've seen the text message with my own eyes. He even admitted that he did it. And so, and if this makes you squeamish, then you know what? Go find another church. That's fine.
That was wild. I don't know. That was something else there. I don't know what the fuck that was. We watched the fake titties video. There's the music video I was going to show you guys. One more person we'll talk about. This lady either really thinks that she's a vampire or she's playing a vampire. I haven't decided yet.
Hi, good morning. Freya here, friends. I thought I would do a video about me personally. It might take 2 or 3 parts, but since I have a lot of new followers, I wanted to give you a little bit information about me, just kind of so you know who I am personally. So I am Freya, and I play a vampire in my content, my videos. It's like a series like you would watch on Netflix, Hulu, or Prime. crime, anything like that. That's what I'm trying to do. My end goal is to make a book. So thank you for watching my videos. I hope you're enjoying them. I have so many more stories that I want to tell. And everybody, was asking me, why did you say you were real in the beginning? Well, just like
that is the preacher they post about on 4chan. I didn't know. I know that he's very famous for his crazy stuff.
Like you go to a movie or you read a book or you watch a trailer, you've got to believe that person in order to buy that ticket, right? So if I did make you believe I was...
Oh, she's the one who believes she's a real vampire? I think so. Her arch nemesis is Dom Mosquito. Dom Mosquito, which is a woman head vampire who's hunting her down.
Job.
It seems like somebody Ryan Upchurch would agree with.
And then I knew it was time to come out and say, hey, I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional. I'm acting.
What did I tell you all? What did I tell you all about the people who have to say they're not crazy?
Up to that vampire hunter house.
She's now claiming that she's not delusional, she's not crazy, she's acting.
And looks like they're purposely trying to cover it up.
Oh my God.
And
that's the vampire house right there.
Can you see it? There's a porch light on that was not on before. It tells me that someone's here. Dom Mosquito is back in the U.S.
There she is.
This was her original covet that's under the ground.
Dom Mosquito lives in a hole under the ground right here.
And she's invited me to come over today when she wakes up. Y'all, I don't know what to do. I got that book of grimoire, but I need help. I don't know if I should trust her or not, but I'm not going to ask Lark or Jesse. I'm going to have to make this decision on my own. So told me in order to gain my trust, she would tell me where the cemetery was that the vampire that is after me is at. And his last name is Fairfax, circa 1919. And she told me to go behind the trees and I would see the graves.
Oh, and there they are, right there in that cemetery.
Emma Fairfax, that's his wife, 1859, 1919. Here's Addison Fairfax, the vampire, 1844 to 1926. That's hunting me. So she did give me this information, but is she telling me that
she didn't live very long to be a vampire?
Incoming Donald clip. That's the whole thing I gotta weigh out, guys. That's the whole thing. Holy shit. Remember that intoxicating blood I told you guys about earlier? A couple videos back? Vampires cannot resist. This person has it. I can smell them a mile away. So I gotta hold my ground and be strong. Okay, so I'm home from that interesting jog. I mean, I just jog every morning. I do take 2 days off a week. So not only did I see the coat of arms was being covered up by the vampire hunter, and
it's me. Things are looking up over here. I think I finally won him over. He's being very nice to me. Wait a minute. What's that sound? I don't know.
Oh no, that sounded like clippers. That did not sound good. Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay? I wanted to see there's a part on here about like she went to a gas station. That was a video I found. Too much top lip filler. Sagittarius, Freya. Where's the one with the gas station? Maybe she is writing a book. I have no idea. But multiple people have sent her to me saying that she's a real vampire. And she actually would get in arguments with other people claiming that she's a real vampire. And then suddenly, when she got a lot of heat about it, she's like, I'm acting. I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional. I'm acting. I don't know if the one with the gas station is here or not. Oh, here it is.
OMG, y'all. You see all those people at this gas station?
Don't cut more curly
I don't know if you can
Jufro.
see that man right there, but he has the blood that I'm talking to you. I could smell it a
It's an
mile
intoxicating
away.
blood. She can smell from
And I
miles
found him.
away.
But I don't feed on people. But it's
don't
very
feed on
tempting
people.
because this is like
What do you feed on?
intoxicating. It's like a drug to
I could give you some. Acting like a crazy person works though. Like, Z Ping. Acting like a crazy person works. I'm telling you, like, it works on TikTok. Hate views are still views. People in your comments telling you to fucking unalive yourself or jump off a building or what, they're still comments. I swear I'm thinking about doing it.
Can cloak other vampires that have that intoxicating blood smell. And her covenant is right around the corner. So basically,
we're going to find Don Mosquito's
people
covenant.
that are at that gas station are not humans. That's why the smell was overwhelming, and that's why there were so many. So I smell it, but not as much as I did that one time. Oh, shit. That's why.
Look, see the hole?
I can get a better picture of
See that hole?
underneath rodent home.
That's where Don Mosquito lives.
Right there. Yeah.
Imagine if your arch nemesis name was Dom Mosquito.
That's where she's at.
Dom Mosquito.
So that's why she's so close to the gas station.
Dom
That's why those are not
Mosquito.
humans. They're
That was a song, wasn't it?
humans, and she gave them that smell to try.
You think I'd be a good targeting? I thought about doing that one day. Just driving around and being like, look, that's a red car. All red cars are government cars. Look, they speed up when I speed up. They slow down when I slow down.
I'd be insane thinking I would do something, which I didn't. Oh, Dom Mosquito. Ooh. Looks like there's no way I can
Dom Mosquito.
during the day.
Taco Bell and get taquitos.
I gotta get with Ruby. Ruby also said she did a spell last night. If I came across a building close to Dom Mosquito with graffiti, you see the check mark with the like Arabic writing? That's to tell me from her spell from last night that she has told a vampire where I live, and that's why I got that note.
This doesn't sound like she's an author, right? Like she's not telling a very good story. It more sounds like she's fucking manic, running around screaming about that she's a vampire and other vampires are trying to kill her. This doesn't sound like a book. Like if it was a book and she was telling this story, you think it'd be more interesting.
If you notice, they look like X's, but they're kind of flipped upside down. Wow. Go ahead, Rubes.
They look like X's, but they're flipped upside down. What does that even mean? If you flip an X upside down, it's still an X.
Go ahead, Rubes. So with that being said, that gas station that you guys all been talking about, how crazy I am, well, that's what Dom Mosquito did. She made those people into vampires, or they were vampires, and she cloaked them to have that intoxicating blood that vampires cannot resist. So that's what I found out through Ruby's spell, and that's what I went back up there and stitched it so you could see that it was all a lie. It was people that were made to smell like that. So yeah, what a day. Found.
Now I do understand this. Like we have different like pheromones, different scents, different smells. I can tell when Mariah's in heat. I've had to turn the water hose on her a couple times.
A new way into her coven. Found the graffiti she told me to look for.
She's not your traditional vampire. She can go out during the day. She's protected with spark. They just sparkle in the sun.
So Dom Mosquito, I believe, is the vampire. That's after me, and I think she's pissed because.
Are you guys just triggering me now that you're all typing and with upside down X's?
Because I befriended her once again.
So Dom Mosquito's pissed because you befriended her again.
Stay tuned, my friends. Freya, Jenny, the vampire.
Freya,
Gee, y'all, you see all those people at this gas station?
So her real name was Jennifer, and some of her videos say shit about Jennifer, but she changed her name to Freya, the vampire, in the just like in the middle. Some of them say like Jenny or Jennifer. Very strange content, but it's for you guys to decide. Is she faking it? Is it real? Who knows? What the fuck is that?
I will spit in your coffee, unplug your phone while it's charging, and burn down your childhood home.
She almost knew the words.
I actually struggle with social anxiety, and I am terrified of speaking to strangers.
Why are her eyes so far apart? That's not a filter, is it? Why are her eyes where her ears should be? What is going on? This one's further apart than this one. Can you dislocate your eyes?
I will spit in your coffee, unplug your phone while it's...
Jesus Christ. Anyways, that is Freya fetal alcohol syndrome. That's what Freya stands for. That is Freya Jenny the vampire. Let's see what Phil's been up to. You want to? Phil up. We'll probably have to jump past his music or whatever. We can even get the damn thing to play. Night Rider. What happened to his country musician? Oh my God, we're 30 minutes in. Still just music. 30 minutes and 30 seconds.
You okay?
People get mad at me because I do 5 minutes. They're like, why don't you just start the show? And I'm like, man, there's like 500 people that are trying to gather here. You can at least give them 5 minutes. But just because you have more people, the amount of wait time doesn't go up. 30 minutes and 36 seconds before you started the show. Jesus Christ.
Everyone's probably like, oh, the screen is frozen. Here we go again with this guy and his tech issues, right? Because I was
those earrings.
Still there for a minute.
Jesus Christ.
How we sound over there on Rumble? We okay?
I don't have anything against dudes with earrings. You have earrings you want. They just don't go like Phil's giant earlobes. Just dwarf those diamond studs.
Rumble, give me a thumbs up over there. Let me know that it's okay. Sound all right? Audio? Working with, I think this is Todd's microphone that he left here. So just making sure that we could hear stuff. It's pretty cool. It lights up. It's about the only difference. All right, y'all hear me okay? Cool.
The only difference is it lights up. Got it.
Cool. All right, well, listen. We got a really big intel drop tonight that... well, I'm going to piece it together for us, and then I'm going to talk about it, because it's probably the most significant thing you're going to hear, or you have heard in the last 2.5 years, in regards to the point that we're at right now, in regards to election fraud and who's in office and Donald Trump and the indictments and everything else. So you're going to want to hear this one. So what I would request is take the link that you're watching on right now, so long as it's not Locals, because Locals obviously need
your marching orders are share it to everybody.
The subscription. But if you're watching on Rumble or DLive, I would suggest taking that link and sharing it right now to all of your social media platforms, and suggest that your friends, family, or otherwise tune into this episode, because I think everyone's going to want to.
I know people are going to say you're playing him too fast. I can't do it anymore. I can't listen to him at any type of normal speed. He said 2 times. If you're not catching what he's saying, if it's important, I'll repeat it.
Everyone's going to want to hear what I have to say tonight. For sure. Even people that don't generally listen to me. I think this video needs to be spread far and wide, and I think it will be, not only by you guys, but by other channels as well. So it's going to be a big one. Before we get to that, I want to just say that we will be having a 1-ounce silver American Eagle giveaway at the end of tonight's broadcast. 20 lucky winners from my local subscribers.
He hasn't even mailed out his last giveaway from like 8 months ago, but you're having another one. Got it.
Lucky winners will be getting a 1-ounce silver coin. That's at the end of this broadcast. I am going to expand that a little bit. I'm going to give 25.
Oh, by the way, we did buy me a new pair of shoes for work, but tonight we're e-begging because I got a $384 lot bill. So $384 lot bill. We're e-begging to keep the lights on. We'll be sitting here in the dark if something doesn't happen, okay? Okay? Pay my bills.
Instead of 20, I'm going to give 25. And 5 of those lucky winners are going to be people that subscribed in the last 3 days. So we had a ton of subscriptions just a couple days ago. We had a bunch more today. I have all the stats right here on my laptop. If you still...
his voice makes me dry heave. It makes Mariah's vagina dry heave. But I did learn a valuable lesson. Mariah now has me tug my balls to the side when I send her dick pics. She's like, it's a whole nother dick.
Still subscribe
like a
between now
stranger
and the giveaway at the end of the night. You will still be eligible for that 1-ounce silver coin. And 5 of you that subscribed in the last 72 hours will win. And then the other 20 will be from local subs that have been subs before that 3-day period. Okay? So I got my little troll friend here. He's going to help us out tonight. I have lots of trolls, but I have this one in particular tonight. He's going to help us.
That's hilarious.
I named him Oliver. You okay, Locals?
Is that a joke for Oliver's mom? Is that what that is? I named him Oliver.
Yeah, everybody's good on Locals. You got a lot of people tuning in on Locals tonight. You do not have to be present to win the silver coin tonight on Locals. I have all the data here, so you don't actually have to be here. I will just read out the name. We will have the contact information because you subscribed.
I know he's not talking about my son, because if he's talking about my fucking Oliver, I will become your kid's new stepdad. Watch me.
Locals and you pay an amount, so we'll have the contact information, and Tristan will reach out to you and get those coins sent out. Carrie said you're welcome for the troll. Thanks, Carrie. That is hers. She calls it a gnome, but it's very clearly a troll. So anyway, on that topic, the previous silver winners It just took me a long time to get those out, guys. I'm really sorry. It wasn't Tristan's fault. It was really mine. The wedding in early June, and then Italy, and then Hawaii after that. I've been traveling like crazy this summer, both with and without my boys. So I'm sorry I haven't gotten those out yet. We do have all of the names of the silver winners. We also have all the names of the magazine winners. I did sign them last week, and Tristan is in the process now of mailing them all out. You will be contacted when they are mailed out.
Now they're being mailed out. Thank God.
So that was from the previous.
He does not have a personality. He cannot exhibit normal human emotions. He has no personality. He feeds off the lies that he tells everybody, but it's no personality. Even if he was Edward Snowden, there's no personality behind it. It is just, he doesn't understand what's funny. He doesn't know when to laugh. He doesn't know when to smile. His crying's fake. All of his emotions are fake. It is what he perceives as someone who would laugh genuinely or cry genuinely.
Contest that we ran, which I think was a couple months ago or so. The new ones tonight will be mailed out much quicker. So they'll likely go out sometime next week, and the previous batch will go out this week, more than likely by the weekend. So if you're still waiting on yours, just sit tight, they're coming. Okay? What else did I have?
His comment section is pretty brutal. I don't think I can say that word on Twitch. Comments even get ratioed. His followers' comments even get ratioed.
From a reporting standpoint, I think everyone here tonight, this was going to start the intel part of tonight's live, so pay close attention to me if you could.
Intel part. Alert. What do I have? There we go.
Has a liberal tint, but for taint, I would say taint is a better word. It's
a liberal taint.
A little bit on the liberal side, they say.
Got a liberal taint.
We've been waiting for a very long time, obviously, for some sort of conclusion to this mess that we found ourselves in. I remember back in late 2020, right after the election fraud, as well as people are...
I got a small dick, but wait till it get hard. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Hashtag same team from Christina. Thank you very much. Hashtag same team. Paying the light bill. We also got an incoming dono clip. If somebody wants to play that. Thank you very much, Christina. Oh my God, I'm logged out of my account. Why? Oh, there it is.
I'm saying there's nothing on locals. Can't be.
Well, we watch cold beer and low places like Twitch and YouTube, Rumble and maybe Kick one day, but we'll be okay.
We watch cold beer in low places. Thank you very much, Yaller Nuts. I appreciate that. Paying a light bill. Paying a light bill. Thank you.
Yeah, no, people are on locals. You guys might have to refresh because I got quite a few people over there and everyone's saying locals is fine. So just refresh. Maybe that'll help you. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying.
Jesus Christ. What's this one?
Cause I'm drinking. I'm a little bit drunk.
Who is that? You may know who that is.
Drinking.
Why's their tits out? That was weird. And the hiccup at the end? That was strange. Hashtag same team. That's right.
Late 2020, as well as early 2021, pre-inauguration, I should say, I was fully convinced.
The inauguration you said would never happen. There's no way. You knew for a fact it would not happen. Don't worry about it. It won't happen.
That there would not be an inauguration of Joe Biden. Those that have been with me for a very long time remember me very emphatically saying that Joe Biden will not be inaugurated as president.
Now, he'll also supplement this statement. You remember me emphatically saying he would not be elected with his intel's never been wrong. He's never been wrong. Everything he tells you comes true. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but about every 3 months, he'll say, I'm working on a video right now of everything I've always predicted, and it's always come true, and I'm going to put that out just for the trolls. Here's the prediction. Here's when it come true. Here's the prediction. Here's when it come true. Here's the prediction. Here's when... But he's never put it out. He just keeps saying that. That's right. Hit the like button. Idiots. I'm going to start banning people from my Rumble channel.
Of the United States. And I remember that day that...
I can see if you liked it or not. I'm the only person, though. I'm also the only person that can see how many millions of viewers we got. And I can't even show you screenshots. Hit the like button on Rumble, you get banned.
Did occur. Everything looked very funny. You know, we had some people who were at the inauguration that got caught on camera wearing different shoes at times. Who changes their shoes mid-inauguration? You know, so things look funny. We had some camera angles that...
Jill Biden. Jill Biden wore one set of high heels for the actual inauguration ceremony, and then for the rest of the time where she had to be like walking, you know, further and walk a distance, she brought a pair of flats. And I'm pretty sure Ivanka did the same thing. I would imagine, like, you look good in heels or whatever, and you're just kind of sitting there for an hour or so, but then you get up and you're like walking around and moving and stuff. It would probably be more comfortable to get some flats, right? I had 2 sets of shoes for my daughter's wedding. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're going to dance. That's right.
Showed the entire sky was sunny. We had some that showed the, everything was cloudy, no blue sky at all. So there were a lot of little technical issues with that day. And we were all waiting for something to happen.
I had friends there that are in the National Guard now that were called up there. None of them actually surprisingly got sent home, and a lot of them are Trump supporters. I guess they just weren't like correct, because some soldiers got sent home, right? Because they were like too big of Trump supporters and made them nervous. But anyways, I had friends that were there at the National Guard. It was overcast and spitting snow earlier in the day. The snow cleared up, and then the sun came out, but it was still pretty cold. But that's one of the cucumbers' defenses. Is like, they said it was snowing, it wasn't snowing. They said it was sunny, it wasn't sunny. Here it is snowing. Like, either one works.
Me, personally, I thought the military was right then and there going to intervene. I kept watching and saying, just wait. It's coming. Nope, didn't come. And now here we are approaching 2 years and...
Didn't come? I thought it came twice in your pants already. What do you mean didn't come?
8 months later, that not only did the inauguration and the election results occur, but we sit in a country that is no longer what it used to be. This country was wrecked beyond belief. That day was easily one of the worst days of my life, because everything that I had believed to that point on Inauguration Day 2021, I felt like was lost, was gone. And
it
was over. I thought it was...
You're not undoing a Biden presidency. He's president. Too bad. Like, that's why we vote. That's why we go out next time he's the president. To be honest with you, he's probably going to win again.
I thought we were done.
I don't care how many people show up in my chat and it's like, I know 1 million liberals. They all say they hate Joe Biden. It doesn't matter. They hate Trump more.
Fast forward now, obviously, to nearly 3 years. We're almost 3 years beyond that day. And we have a country that was decimated by political decisions, financial turmoil.
Trump's still in charge, not Biden. He's not even real.
In almost every household. We have banks collapsing. We have people unable to afford, even with their regular salaries that they've been earning for years, unable to afford simple things like gas, groceries, sports for their...
Oh, is that your problem?
Kids, dance lessons for their daughters, Little League for their sons. We've been completely gutted. So what have we done? Well, we've kind of done what we could. We did as much as we could to wake people up as much as we could along the way. We have lost, obviously, a lot of friends and family, which hopefully we'll get back, and soon. But the majority of what we could do is limited to what we've been doing. So in other words, we just have to keep struggling, right?
What amazing advice. We just have to keep struggling, guys. That's all we got to do is just keep struggling. And keep your local subscription. Send me your 401k so I can help you out with that. Make sure you sign up for Phil Silver and just keep struggling.
What do you do? You can't do anything illegal because you'll be arrested, maybe killed.
You can try.
If we look back at the most recent events, such as
wherefore hereinto thither.
The Durham report.
Oh.
The Durham report revealed, beyond the shadow of a doubt,
nothing. It recommended no new charges for anybody, and the 2 people they did charge, nothing happened.
That the DNC, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and several high-profile big-name agency directors, Comey, McCabe, as well as others, conspired to prevent Donald Trump from winning the election.
By the way, Mike Pence spilled the beans on Donald Trump, saying basically they wanted him to, at first he thought they wanted him to make a show. He took notes of all this. First they wanted to make a show at the electors' votes. Then they wanted him to make make a statement saying like, oh, well, I don't know if this is true or not. Then they wanted him to flat out refuse them, and he wouldn't. So on this news show where he reveals all this, by the way, his notes and his testimony were integral in getting the latest indictment for Trump, even though Trump says he never even heard the word indictment. He didn't know what it was till he got indicted the first time. It's a lie. It's the dumbest fucking lie. Mike Pence is on this show telling this news anchor this, and he says no one that would try to subvert the Constitution should ever be president. No one that should try to subvert the Constitution and stay in power should ever be president. Then she says, well, would you support Trump if he becomes the candidate for 2024? I know you're running, but let's say down the road he becomes a candidate. Would you support Trump? Well, it's still kind of early. It's still very early. I don't want to make any statements like, shut the fuck up, Mike Pence.
In 2016, that was all revealed to us. Russiagate was just one big Russiagate, right? Ever since the Durham report, I want you guys to think about this. And think
Hold on, we'll look.
Russiagate was prevent Donald Trump, there's Comey, McCabe, Barack Obama. Beyond the shadow of a doubt that the Durham report be arrested, maybe killed.
Where's the lost
which hopefully we'll get back,
ones?
and soon. We have lost, obviously, a lot of friends and family, which hopefully we'll get back, and soon. But the majority...
We've lost a lot of friends and family, which hopefully we get back soon. Maybe he's talking about, I guess the only way to be like super generous to that statement is like people that won't talk to you anymore because you're a cucumber.
Of what we could do is limited. Beyond the shadow of a doubt that the big name agency directors, Comey, McCabe, 2016, that was all revealed to us. Ever since the Durham report, have we not seen an acceleration? I'm not talking about 2024. I went over this in my last live, that 2024 is not, it's not a thing, right? There's no way anyone could win a rigged election, especially when an algorithm is involved.
That's not what he said, Dana. If you play the full clip and listen to it in context, I'm not a fan of Mike Pence, but that's not what he said. It's being clipped out of context and used inaccurately. Tucker Carlson sets it up and says, hey, we've got cities here, and people are worried. And he says, and your concern is that Ukraine doesn't have enough tanks. And he says, that's not my concern. Tucker Carlson sets up the question as, your concern is that Ukraine doesn't have enough tanks. He says, that's not my concern. And then he goes on talking about policies and stuff. We can help here. We can help abroad. If you don't believe in America can do both, then I don't know what he says after that. But yeah, it's out of context. He didn't say he doesn't care about America.
So ever since the Durham report came out, we have all these little events that are...
It's being clipped out of context. If we find the whole clip... The question is set up to him that his concern is Ukraine. Let's see. And he says it's not my concern.
Have you, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Yeah. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States.
You're not listening, Dana. That's not what he said. He didn't. He does say that the U.S. is his concern.
United States, and it's visible. Our economy has degraded, the suicide rate has jumped, public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased, and yet your concern is that the Ukrainians...
Your concern is that the Ukrainians...
A country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks.
Don't have enough tanks. Your concern is that Ukraine, most people can't find it on a map, tens of billions of dollars, don't have enough tanks.
I think it's a fair question to ask.
Well, you just keep moving the fucking goalpost. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. First, it was that America wasn't a concern. Then I told you that's not what he said. Then you said, oh, well, he doesn't care about U.S. people. And then I said, no, he literally said he cares about the U.S. And then now you're like, action is more than words. Like I don't know why you keep moving the goalposts.
Like, where's the concern for
If you don't like him, just say you don't like him, but don't keep moving the goalposts and making false statements.
United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. I think Joe Biden has weakened America at home and abroad.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President.
And he goes on to say, anybody who doesn't think America can do both, home and abroad, thanks too little of America or something like that, we can do both.
piquing our interest. They're lighting sparks underneath a pile of hay. And to this point, the hay hasn't ignited, right? That fire just won't catch for some reason. But
is that supposed to happen? It's still playing at 2 times speed. This is going to be the best intel we've got. This is going to be the best intel we got. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't care if I don't like Pence either. But, like, if you said, like, my kid's in the hospital because he was run over by a car. And I'm like, your kid wasn't run over by a car? And you're like, no, but he was close to the road. And I'm like, he wasn't even close to the road. It was 100 feet from the road. And you're like, yeah, but there was a cat that came from the road earlier that day that scratched my kid, and now he's in the hospital. You're just moving the goalpost over and over again. Just say your kid's in the hospital, and that'd be the end of it. His teeth are incredibly awful.
I have a locals, yeah.
I've never put it out for anybody to sign up, but yeah, I have a locals account if I ever wanted to go there. I use Patreon instead. 10 days of video darkness. You're right.
It's crazy. But you guys are hearing me fine?
The deep state's trying to shut him down.
Okay, good.
This is your marching order.
Trying to reconnect the locals real quick. I don't know what happened there, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I should be back on locals right now. You guys see me over there on locals?
Yeah, he doesn't feel natural, does it, Dr. J? Like he's still treating his teeth like they don't fit him. Like my mom had to get like a partial denture, and it took her like forever and ever to get used to it. Phil's still treating his teeth like they don't fit him. He says he just had them whitened. Bullshit. You can tell by the way he acts with his fucking teeth that their fucking veneers or something in his mouth fucking changed. They moved it. They did something. Whatever. Like something changed.
We good on locals over here?
His mouth doesn't, like when he closes his mouth, he doesn't even have the same look anymore. It's almost like they're bigger.
And you guys hear me and see me on locals. Somebody respond in chat, please. Everyone say no? Okay. I did just have an internet breakage. I don't know exactly what happened there, but
internet breakage. Edward Snowden, everybody. I did just have an internet breakage. They breakage through my internet.
My internet completely kicked off, but it looks like I'm back on Rumble just fine. Everybody's hearing me okay on Rumble. D-Live appears to be down too.
Pride mark.
So I'm not 100% sure what happened with the internet there, but it did just completely kick off. And it appears to have reloaded, but I don't know exactly why locals will not reconnect. So I'm just working on that real quick, and then we'll get back to the good stuff.
I proved it is possible to share your screen on locals. Phil just doesn't know how to do it.
I do see you guys on locals. I can see the chat, and it appears that I am streaming, but you can't see me. So here's what I'm going to do. For those of you that are watching on locals, if you could switch over to Rumble real quick. I'm going to keep going on the intel here because I don't want this to drag out. Okay, people are now saying on locals loud and clear. So good. If that's the case, then good.
Locals is a worse performing platform than the one you have. He can't share his screen there. It's not better quality. The trolls are not absent from there. Like, it's all worse, and you're paying for it. And so we figured out the other night he's making between like $45,000 and $90,000 a month on locals.
And if not, if you're still having trouble connecting on locals, you could just head over to D-Live temporarily until locals reconnects. I do think it will reconnect. I have no idea what's going on with D-Live. I'm not even going to try to troubleshoot that. I'm just going to keep going on my live here because I got a lot to say and I got a lot of important stuff to get out of my mouth. So getting back to before I was interrupted, what you've seen since the Durham report has been the equivalent of drip, drip, flood. Except we didn't see the flood yet. Now, what I mean by that is since the Durham report came out, you have seen Donald Trump indicted 3 times, and a 4th is coming from Georgia. 3 times so far, and a 4th one's coming. There's no doubt that he's not going to get indicted in Georgia. I'm actually surprised they didn't do the Georgia indictment earlier. I thought that would have come much earlier than the ones that have come so far. So we are looking at 4 indictments by the previous president of the United States, who is also the quote-unquote front runner of the 2024 potential election. Okay, and I say potential election because I don't think that election.
I think Trump kind of set this up well. Like his ardent supporters, they did some polling of like Trump supporters, and there's like of the MAGA people they polled, of the ones who would identify as MAGA Trump support, they asked them to all self-identify as either like just Republican or conservative, a Trump supporter, or a MAGA Trump supporter. Out of the ones they polled that identified themselves as MAGA Trump supporter, they believe that he has never committed a single crime in his whole fucking life. He's never done anything illegal, ever. Ever. That's wild to me. So he set them up like you can't trust the media, you can't trust the left, you can't trust anybody who says anything negative about me. They're all evil. They're all against me. They're all deep state. Like they fell into that programming. It is wild. People are like when I say like, oh, would Trump needs to be investigated for this? Like this indictment's fucking scary if this is true. They're like, Joe Biden, fucking investigate Joe Biden. Investigate him. I don't care. That's fine. Investigate him. And if he's done something wrong, lock him up in the same fucking cell. I don't care. But the shit that is alleged of Trump is scary as fuck. He tried to circumvent the national election and put people in place that would do it for him. And when different co-conspirators were told there'll be mass riots in the street, they said that's what martial law is for.
Elections occurring, like we said before. Now, this has never happened before in the history of the United States. No political opponent in the United States has ever been prosecuted while running for office. No former president of the United States has ever been prosecuted. In fact, I don't know if you remember hearing this, but many people, many past presidents, I should say, pardon themselves before leaving office. They grant themselves on a pardon for anything that they may have done that they weren't yet prosecuted for before they leave office. Obama did it. George Bush did it. This is common practice for the president of the United States to pardon himself.
I don't think that's true at all. Because this is a big thing when Trump was even in office. Could he pardon himself? Like everybody was asking if he was even constitutional. Like I don't think any president's ever pardoned themselves. Well, maybe like way back in the day. But definitely not Obama or Bush. This would have been big fucking news. If Obama would have pardoned himself, that would have been huge. You know how many people still think Obama was like a Muslim from Kenya? All the Trump supporters do. Bullshit.
For any crimes that may have occurred while he's in office. So these indictments are so peculiar and so not by any sort of standard whatsoever. They are completely and utterly out of left field and make no sense whatsoever. Okay? Not only do we have the indictments, but we also have the Hunter Biden stuff, the laptop, the charges against Hunter Biden, the conversations with Hunter Biden with his business partner, talking the text messages implicating Joe Biden, where Hunter says, yeah, my dad's sitting right next to me and we're pissed off that we didn't get that money, blah, 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 right? So now...
That doesn't implicate Joe Biden. Watch this. Bill told me that he robbed a bank. And all the evidence is in the closet of his house in Arizona. See how that doesn't fucking make you guilty, Phil? See how that doesn't work? That doesn't work. Hunter's a crackhead, sure. And prosecute Hunter. But you got to prove that at some point prior, Joe said, yeah, you can use my influence. Yeah, you can threaten people with my name. Or was sitting there like nodding his head while he was saying it or something. You can't just say that Hunter said it, so Joe's guilty.
Originally, you just had Hunter's word that Joe Biden was there.
Incoming Donald clip.
And other places, like other governments and other businesses, might have actually believed that Hunter had this power of his dad. That's not part of it either. Just because Hunter said it and just because someone believed him doesn't implicate Joe as being the one who told him to do it. It doesn't happen.
You guys think it's funny? I'm always drinking. Well, if you live to Phil, you like me to drink it too.
The glasses are a nice touch. The glasses are a nice touch. Thank you very much for the dono clip. That was Drunk Carrie. That was Drunk Carrie. Hunter Biden sold illusions of access to his father's former business partner. Tells Congress. Hunter Biden's former business partner insisted in testimony to Congress Monday that President Joe Biden was never directly involved in their financial dealings. A former business partner insisted in testimony to Congress Monday that President Joe Biden was never directly involved in their financial dealings. Though Hunter would often put his famous father on speakerphone to impress clients and business associates, he was never involved.
Right in the room. Just recently, 3 days ago, a letter from Joe Biden written to Hunter's business partner gets released. Donald Trump just recently retweeted it or posted it somewhere. I think it was on Truth Social. So you now have Joe Biden at the very center of a bribery scandal and a corruption scandal involving the White House when he was vice president. You literally have a foreign agent elected as president of the United States of America. So you have that letter come out. You have all the bad stuff with Hunter come out. I reported about a year ago that Hunter flipped. Hunter was talking.
Oh, Hunter's going to put him under. Hunter's going to put him under. Look out. Hunter's flipped. Hunter's a crackhead, and no one's trusted him this whole time.
Media, right? Just recently, just this past week, you have all this stuff coming out of Michigan about the voter fraud. The DNC literally set up a covert operation to steal the election in Michigan for Joe Biden via mail-in balloting, via the scary stuff.
By the way, the letter says shit like, I apologize for not getting a chance to talk to you at the luncheon yesterday. I was having trouble getting away from hosting President Who. I hope I get a chance to see you again soon with Hunter. I hope you enjoyed lunch. Thanks for coming. P.S. Happy you guys are together. I don't know what to say about the letter. I mean, like it's the letter certainly does it. Here it is. I apologize for not getting a chance to talk to you at the luncheon yesterday. I was having trouble getting away from hosting President Hugh. I hope I get a chance to see you again soon with Hunter, and I hope you enjoyed the luncheon. Thanks for coming. Then at the bottom, handwritten, says, P.S. Happy you guys are together. Like that's not a smoking gun. I don't know why Trump is fixated on this. It's Archer says, first of all, it was a lovely letter. It was kind of the beginning of our partnership, talking about him and Hunter. And he was thanking me and thanking Hunter. I think the end of the day for bringing this idea of this government regulatory strategic business or advisory business into the private equity world. And I think he was excited for the prospects for Hunter, his son. And he was just thanking me. And I think it was a nice gesture. It was a nice gesture for sure, but very polite. He gets a 10 on the etiquette scale. Carlson agreed.
Stuff that they said about COVID, you have corruption oozing out of all the swing states, every single one of them. And for the first time, all of this stuff seems to be circling, right? It's like a pack of wolves circling their prey. You have Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the Bitcoin dude, right? Huge money laundering operation he's one of the biggest, I think he was the biggest donor to the DNC. Huge money laundering operation to the DNC, and it also involved Ukraine. This guy's been in custody.
Sam Bankman-Fried, Fried, however you say it, not only was he a gigantic donor to the right, but by his own fucking testimony, I'm sorry, to the left, by his own testimony, he was actually a gigantic donor to the right as well. The problem was, he says himself in a past video someone had, that the reason he publicly donates to the left and secretly donates to the right was because it was good to have friends in higher places. And he privately donated to the right because he would have been canceled on Twitter or whatever if they found out that he was a big donor to campaigns on the right. So he publicly donated to the left, privately donated to the right. So I mean, I think he's still got charges pending about campaign finance or whatever. But yeah, I guess you're just mad, I guess, about him. But I think he should have went to fucking jail. I think he's a piece of shit. But his whole fucking defense is he didn't know what was going on in Alameda. I don't think most people know what actually happened there, but he has a defense that he just didn't know. And it was a separate company that was actually doing the shady part. Most people believe he did know. And he did have something to do with that. And it was just like his girlfriend or former girlfriend that was running it. But his defense is he didn't know.
He's talking. You have all of these things that look like great things to us, right? But yet, even with all of these reports, we don't see action, do we? And when I say action, I'm not talking about a congressional hearing held by Jim Jordan or Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not talking about that kind of action. I'm talking about action. Like swift action, come arrest the motherfucker.
So everybody keeps saying, like, come arrest the motherfucker. Listen at him. Yeah, you need it. They're no longer pursuing one campaign finance charge against Bangman, but he's still set to face other charges in October. And there may be a second trial as well for even more charges. Like, he's not off the hook. Yeah, he's not completely off the hook. I think they dropped one campaign finance charge, but there's a bunch of other ones that are still waiting. There's a lot of people saying DOJ drops all charges because he's walking away because he donated. He's still facing a bunch of charges. They dropped one of his charges.
That type of action. Part of my language for those of you have kids here. I'm sorry, but I'm getting a little fired up because what I am about to say next, I've been wanting to say for a very long time.
Oh, God. Here we go. He's
so with all of these wolves
voice
circling their prey, so to speak, the question is, when does the first wolf attack? When do we actually start our offense? Why have we been on the defense?
I thought y'all were like sheepdogs or something, protecting the sheep. Now you're wolves attacking the sheep?
With all of these things that Trump has done or hasn't done. We know all the charges against him are bullshit. It's just like Russia all over again, right? It's just fake news. We know that. We've known that for years, ever since Trump got in office, 2016.
So the great computer expert has the same mic as a grocery store liquor clerk? Yes. He claims that his buddy left it there.
All of these little things happening all at once. So over the weekend, I started seeing all these things pile up, right? All these wolves circling their prey. And the wolves are the white hats, if you didn't pick that up, I know. I see all these wolves circling their prey, and I start wondering, why? Why does there appear to be all of these stories coming out? Now, we could add even more to the list that I just read off. You have 2,000 Mules, you have The Sound of Freedom, you have all of these raids being announced on global pedophilia rings, right? So it's not just to the smartass over here that's on Rumble that said, this is intel. No, just hang out for a bit and I'll get there. Okay, but if you can't follow the story, here's what you could do. You could shut off the screen.
I don't know why they don't always
come back
say
to it
this
later
to him, because there's never any intel. By the way, before I forget, because I've already forgot it, is the, what's it called? The, starting tonight and going on all the way through the weekend. I think the peaks this weekend is the Perseids meteor shower. So depending on where you're at and if you've got cloud cover, starting tonight and going all the way over into the weekend, you should be able to see a meteor shower if anybody's interested. Like a bunch of shooting stars, depending on your cloud cover.
Exact timestamp that I actually do say the intel. If that's satisfying to you, do that. Otherwise, you just have to hear me talk and give out the intel when I feel like it's appropriate time. Okay? Okay. Now, you could add more things to that list. The 2,000 Mules, The Sound of Freedom, the arrests that are
I can't wait for the 4th annual Red October
happening currently of a pedophilia ring that was just recently announced as well. There's so many things that have occurred either over the last 2.5 years or have recently occurred over the last 2.5 weeks. And you start looking at them. And I remember, a couple years ago, I kept saying the pot. The pot is about.
He's saying that Fed now is Nassar Gassar. Is that what you're saying? He equates the two?
To boil over, right? And what happens when a pot boils over? First it simmers, right? Then the vegetables start moving, the potatoes and the onions start going to the top, and you have all this stuff happening, and then when it gets too hot, it just erupts because of the pressure that's cooking up in there, right? So that's how I refer to it. And I got away from that analogy for a while because to me that pot should have boiled over a long time ago.
Wait a second.
All of these raids being announced on global read off. You have all of these stories, all of these little things happen. I'm not talking about that kind of action. I'm talking about action. Like swift action, come arrest some motherfuckers. That type of action. Part of my language for those of you who have kids here. I'm sorry, but I'm getting a little fired up because what I am about to say next, I've been wanting to say for a very long time. So
the FedNow service basically takes processing time out. Any individual in any business can send you money instantly within seconds, and you can use it instantly. It's instant payment. It's an instant payment system. And it works in no verifying funds, no check holds, no nothing. It's instant.
So with all of these wolves circling their prey, so to speak, the question is, when does the first wolf attack? When do we actually start our offense? Why have we been on the defensive with all of these things that Trump has done or hasn't done? We know all the charges against him are bullshit. It's just like Russia, Russia, Russia all over again, right? It's just fake news. We know that. We've known that for years, ever since Trump got in office, 2016. All of these little things happening all at once. So over the weekend, I started seeing all these things pile up, right? All the wolves circling their prey.
Here we go.
And the wolves are white. If you didn't pick that up, I know. I see all these wolves circling their prey, and I start wondering, why? Why does there appear to be all of these stories coming out? Now, we could add even more to the list that I just read off. You have 2,000 Mules, you have The Sound of Freedom, you have all of these raids being announced on global pedophilia rings, right? So it's not just to the smartass over here that's on Rumble that said, this is intel. No, just hang out for a bit and I'll get there. Okay, but if you can't follow the story, here's what you could do. You could shut off the screen, okay, and come back to it later and get the exact timestamp that I actually do say the intel.
Perfect.
Satisfying for you to do that. Otherwise, you just have to hear me talk and give out the intel when I feel like it's appropriate time, okay? Okay. Now, you could add more things to that list. The 2,000 Mules, The Sound of Freedom, the arrests that are happening currently of the pedophilia ring that was just recently announced as well. There's so many things that have occurred either over the last 2.5 years or have recently occurred over the last 2.5 weeks. And you start looking at them. And I remember, a couple years ago, I kept saying the pot is about to boil over, right? And what happens when a pot boils over? First it simmers, right? Then the vegetables start moving, the potatoes and the onions start going to the top, and you have all this stuff happening. And then when it gets too hot, it just erupts.
It's not directly. So the Fed now is not directly for consumers. Well, it is. You can use it, but there's not going to be an app. It's not going to be on your phone. You can't log into it. You go to your bank. You go to your bank or your credit union, and you do a transfer, and they'll use the FedNow system. They'll verify you have the money in your account. They'll use the FedNow system to send it. There's not going to be an app or anything like that. It's just you go to your bank and do it. But there's no hold. It's verified. There's less risk with transferring funds, I guess.
Last 2.5 weeks. And you start looking at them. And I remember, a couple years ago, I kept saying the pot is about to boil over, right? And what happens when a pot boils?
Pots don't explode. This is why I backed up twice. I was hoping he would say like pressure cooker. Pots don't explode. Boiling over is like a slow process where it just barely like boils over. It just doesn't pop like he says.
Over. First it simmers, right? Then the vegetables start moving, the potatoes and the onions start going to the top, and you have all this stuff happening. And then when it gets too hot, it just erupts because of the pressure that's cooking up in there, right?
A pot doesn't build pressure. A pot doesn't build pressure. Most lids to pots even have a fucking pressure relief hole on them. You should have used pressure cooker, Phil. A pot just boils over even if it has to push the lid off. It doesn't explode. What are you talking about?
So that's how I refer to it. And I got away from that analogy for a while because to me, that pot should have boiled over a long time ago. But here's what they're doing. They are setting up, and when I say they, I'm talking about the white hats. They are setting up for the ultimate takedown of this cabal. And it literally took as long as we've suffered through 2.5 years. Guys, listen, I know you're the first to say that, oh, well, you haven't suffered. Look at you. You got a boat, you got a side-by, you got a Corvette, you got a Tesla, you got another Tesla over there, you got a truck out there, you got a...
Yeah, he hasn't suffered at all. If anything, he has went from full-time Subway sandwich artist, part-time realtor, part-time alleged lover of 15-year-olds to multi-millionaire, remarried with a couple of minor females living in his home with him.
House over there, another house over there. Yeah, I get that. But guess what? I lost. That stuff is immaterial to me. With or without it, I'm fine.
That's a lie. This is the only reason he's doing it, right? That's why he brags about it all the time. That's why he named everything in his driveway.
I lost my grandfather, who was my best friend. I lost my grandmother, who was my confidant, the rock.
Everybody has people die in their lives, Phil.
The matriarch of our family. And I lost them due to COVID and remdesivir. And all of those things were for $1 million.
Why are you saying it's an illegal marriage?
I lost my career, which I loved at the time, of real estate. I lost friends.
His license was expired long before any of this happened. His license was expired because of him bouncing that check. Like they pulled his license. He had 1 year to argue why he should be able to keep it, and he didn't. So this was before the article came out. This was before. I don't even want to say it's expired. Like they suspended it, and he had a year to fight it. And during that year is when the article came out. Even when he took his PPP loans, I'm pretty sure his license had already been suspended.
I lost a lot of family. I lost my ex-wife. I lost my kids for a good part of...
He says remdesivir.
Who was my confidant, the rock, the matriarch of our... I'm fine. I lost my grandfather, who was my best friend. I lost my grandmother, who was my confidant, the rock, the matriarch of our family. And I lost them due to COVID and remdesivir.
COVID and remdesivir.
And all of those things were for $1 million. I lost my career, which I loved at the time, of real estate.
He lost his career because you can't be in a position like a real estate agent and bounce a $20,000 check. You cannot do that. You cannot be a real estate agent, because there's a governing body and a board. And when those crimes get of like moral turpitude or whatever they're called, like of fucking theft or larceny or like fucking bouncing a check and fucking with the records, like creating your own records, falsifying them. You cannot. So it was a year that he could dispute it, and he didn't even try. He didn't even fucking try.
Friends. I lost a lot of family. I lost my ex-wife. I lost my kids for a good part of a year. So I've experienced loss too. It may be different than what you've experienced, but we all experience.
Tell me this, chat. I'll ask you. If I could tell you that in a year you would be worth $10 million, would you still let normal actions happen, like older members of your family may or may not die normally? That wouldn't change at all. But you might go through a rough spell where you wouldn't be able to see your kids for a few months. And maybe you would be able to see your ex-wife for a few months. But then at the end of that, you're going to have $10 million. All this stuff still would have happened to him. Right? His wife still would have left him. There still would have been a time he wouldn't have been able to see his kids. His grandparents still would have died. They were very old. Everything still would have happened to him, except the normal person that would have fucking happened to would have still been in the same financial system. When he grifts to the maximum, to the extreme, to this level, it still happens to him, but he ends up with fucking $10 million in the back, probably more than that. Multi-millionaire at the end of it. The fuck out of here.
Experience things in a different way.
If you told me that I would end up with fucking $20 million in the bank if I didn't see my kids for like 6 months, bring that motherfucker on. Because when I get to see them again, I've been on the road and worked for fucking 6 months. Like when I do get to see them, I've improved their quality of life astronomically, right? Like even they would understand, like, hey, I got to go away. It's just like when I used to work on the road. I'm sorry. I'll see you in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like bullshit. Bullshit.
There's now talk about BRICS. BRICS is set to make a major announcement on August 22nd.
Trump took fucking everything. Trump has had the COVID vaccine and all the boosters. Trump took everything. They were doing experimental shit on him at the fucking hospital. He was a president at the time. It's a big deal.
And the reporting is that they're going to announce that the BRICS system is going to be backed by gold. Well, that sounds a lot like Nasera or Jacera to me, does it not? Same thing we've been talking about and what Dick Swear and other experts in the field have been talking about for a very long time. Excuse me, I have this gas bubble, I can't get it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that his mom said that his grandpa had died after a long battle with lung cancer.
Everything appears to be set up perfectly for the ultimate thing. So I'm thinking about this over the weekend, and I'm seeing
the ex-wife and his sons was dirty dealing of he's seeing underage girls. That's exactly right. Carrie didn't want to be drugged through the mud again. She'd already been drugged through the mud once. Carrie doesn't want to be drugged through the mud again. And their marriage had to be on the rocks before. Phil just bounced a $20,000 check and had to go to jail. Do you think their marriage was doing great? Like, Mariah loves me to death. And I'm pretty sure if I went to jail, she'd probably wait a good while on me. I don't know forever, but she'd wait a good while on me. But do you think that she's going to be happy with me when I get out of jail? If it's something that I legitimately did, not like I was set up and she knows it's not true, blah, blah, blah. But like she knows that I fucked around and got busted and she's got to survive on her own for a few months while I'm in fucking jail. Do you think she'd be happy with me?
Seeing all these things lining up and I'm seeing it just, right now it just feels different. Right? Doesn't it? It can't just be me. It can't just be me that has felt an enormous shift in the way things have been for the last 12 months and where we are now. Huge shift. And I'm just talking about feeling, just a gut feeling. I'm talking about...
Yeah, everybody's situation has gotten predominantly worse, or at least they feel like it's worse, stagnant, whatever, and your situation has got astronomically better.
In the air. I feel like, the way that Trump is speaking at his...
Yes, tip. That's right. Pay my light bill. It's $386 this month. $386. I think the cutoff notice is like in 6 minutes.
Rallies and the posts that he's making and the stuff that's actually getting onto mainstream media that hasn't gotten onto mainstream media before. The federal...
If it was the same charges as Phil, she wouldn't. Well, if it was the 2010 charges of Phil, she wouldn't wait on me. If it was the bouncing check one, yeah, she probably would.
Reserve appears to be collapsing. Central banks worldwide appear to be collapsing.
I think she would think I was fucking retarded for fucking faking the bank records.
You have distrust of mainstream media at an all-time high. thanks to, in part, the Russiagate scandal and how they reported it, and much more other than that, obviously. Everything is just circling. I feel like the white hats have come.
So the intel is that Phil's going to make a circle with his. The intel is Phil's going to make a circle.
You sure about that?
You sure? I'm sure about it. I'm sure she'd wait on me at Suko. Do you know something I don't know at Suko? I think she'd wait on me. I'm the fucking Lizard King. She would wait on me. Now the bill's down to $381. Thank you very much for that 500 bits. So the intel tonight is Phil's going to draw a circle, and he's going to be like, doesn't it feel like it's close? Does it feel like it's close? Well, it is.
Completely surrounded. What's left, that very, very small sect, very, very small group of black hats that are left are completely surrounded. And that's a good metaphor in the sense that if you think of it from a physical standpoint, meaning, okay, well, there's people that are surrounding a small group. Fine. But think of it differently. Think of it.
If Trump wins in 2024, Phil's gonna roll that into, if Trump wins or loses, it might actually be better if he loses. If he takes this was fraudulent, blah blah blah, we're gonna be back. Joe Biden won't be re-inaugurated, blah 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 blah. But I think he's gonna try to roll that in. That was the plan the whole along, the whole time. The whole time that was the plan. I don't think he plans on going anywhere. Even when none of his predictions come true. Remember the Supreme Court thing? He just doesn't talk about it anymore. I did say that, and that did happen. Just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean that it isn't real. That was right.
Think of it from a psychological point of view, right? And there's a reason why I want you to think of it that way. If you think of what's happening right now and all of these reveals that have been happening that are good for us, forget about the indictments for Trump. We're going to talk about that in a second.
I guarantee you their marriage was on the rocks after he got home from jail.
If you look at all of these reveals that have come out,
losing his real estate license, it's suspended. He has 1 year to fight for it. That was their only income. What's he gonna do? Go back to fucking Subway sandwich artist? Why play it so fast? Have you ever heard this fucking retarded motherfucker speak? If you don't like it, you don't have to watch, but I'm playing the fuck out of it.
And what they mean for America and for the world psychologically, they mean one very, very important thing. We're ready.
We're ready.
The people are ready. Now, I know you've been ready for a long time. So have I. I've been ready for a long time, too. I know the majority of people watching me tonight have been ready. But there's been a lot of people that haven't been ready. There's been a lot of people that don't think what we talk about is actually happening, right? And for the last...
This is funny because this was the same excuse that when shit didn't happen that Scott McKay and Charlie Ward told their followers. Like, oh... it was because you guys were out here running around saying it's popcorn time, it's going to happen, because you guys either didn't do enough or did too much or sat on your ass. It was because you weren't ready that it didn't happen.
2+ years, we've been trying to convince them. Have you been successful?
You can still hear it. I didn't do anything to the volume.
I have, obviously, but have you? For the most part, I think that answer...
I guarantee you all could fucking hear it at 2 times speed. Holy shit. Listen or don't.
There's no. But as this stuff leaks onto mainstream media, and as the psyche of America changes, and they start to see that Joe Biden is actually operating as a foreign agent, all of these wolves that are circling their prey, all of the white hats that are circling that little tiny pocket of black hats that are left, the people are now ready for major, major action. The people are ready for a currency reset. The people are ready for corruption.
So we just had to be beat down to be conditioned to be ready for this. I agree. There's a lot of sentiment that, like, man, something's got to get better. Something's got to change. Something's got to happen. It feels stagnant or it feels like you're doing worse. A lot of people believe, and I would imagine, happiness is a really hard thing to quantify. It fluctuates so much, especially like if you're having a bad day compared to like a good day. But if you could take an actual good poll of people, most people probably would say that their life is like either stayed the same, went stagnant. I bet you could even use that word, or got worse over the last year or two. And that they believe the others around them the same. I agree with that, but that doesn't mean that we were beat to death by the white hats. Everybody had to die. Everybody had to lose their jobs. Business had to shut down. COVID restriction, all that had to happen just so you'd be ready for Trump to come back, because you got to be groveling on the floor before he comes back. What does that sound like? Like, imagine this. Imagine you live like in fucking medieval times. And like, we're going to get a new king, okay? The old king died. We're going to get a new king. But the first thing they do is they come and they rape all your women and burn all your crops and then beat the fuck out of everybody and leave them laying half dead in the middle of the field. And then they're like, now you're ready and I'll take care of you. Just come bow down before your new king.
I got a small dick, but wait till it get hard. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Step on us more, Trump Daddy. Thank you very much, Sima Sapien, with 10 six-packs. Thank you very much for that. That's awesome. Thank you. And it is somebody just said join or die. It is a join or die situation to the Q-tards. Basically, they've decided that anybody that's not on board with them is the enemy. Like, if they're willing to take some podcaster's word that so-and-so they've probably never even heard of before now is an evil, pedo, bloodthirsty, drinking, adrenochrome, and they should be executed at Gitmo, they would definitely throw you under the bus.
To be rooted out once and for all. The people are ready for the truth. Now for the idiot over in the Rumble chat, it's time for the intel. Okay, so you can come back now from your little nap, and here we go. Okay. This past weekend I was talking to Carrie, and I'm reading all these new reports that have been coming out regarding all the things that I just mentioned and more. And I said to her, I said, truthfully, I don't necessarily know how this is going to shake out. I don't know. I know that
I'm getting used to 2 times speed from watching court cases on YouTube. I get upset people don't speak at 2 times speed. Now in real life, yeah, I watch it. I watch it faster than 2 times speed when I'm doing research. I have to. There's so much shit to fucking watch and go through. And yeah, maybe I've got to back up and say, did he say this? Did he say that? Because I'll be distracted. But it's so much more valuable. Like, I can't stand to do it any other way. Slowing down to 2 times speed with Phil, I still feel like he's way too fucking slow. I still feel like he's way too slow. Wom. And the heart is the O. That's a very heartfelt message, Sky Moon. Wom. Thank you.
I know that, the corruption's going to be rooted out. I know that that's going to happen. But how? Like, what is the trigger that forces the outcome? And then I see all these stories that are coming out.
Here we go.
So I reached out to my source, one of my sources, the best source that anyone can have. The one that started it all with me years ago.
The one that taught me that secret handshake with my hand and his dick. Where boys become men at CIA summer camp. Before I had to quit because I learned about 9/11 before it happened.
And I had a very, very candid exchange with my source.
It's his pauses and his pauses. I can't do it. Oh no, you're good. Nobody has to say like I'll help out. You're good. It's all good. It's mostly to play it up because there's a guy that does videos that says I've turned into Phil or whatever. So I like to play it up so he has some content to feed his fucking kid that cusses him out on live streams.
And I said, hey, listen. I said this in a matter of words, but I said, I know that I'm not necessarily on the inside like you are, not nearly as high, nor will I ever be like you are. And I know that I'm not necessarily supposed to know every detail of every single thing that's going on. I might have a very broad view of what's going on, and sometimes I get, close to the actual truth. Sometimes I get, clues to the actual truth. And I said, here's what
Why is he downplaying his role now? I think anytime Phil's downplaying his role is because he knows something isn't going to work out, and he's going to be like, oh, man, I wish I'd... Because sometimes he's Q, and he knows everything, and he's always been right 100% of the time. He's never been wrong. And then other times he's like, I know I'm not the top dog, and I'm not on the inside, and I don't have the intel you have, and I don't know this. And sometimes you give me a little piece, but I usually don't know. And he's downplaying it for a reason.
What I see right now, I see Joe Biden being set up for a takedown. I see, now again, before I even get into that.
Joe Biden, who's not even the real president, according to Phil, who's been dead for a long time, they've got a white hat actor in there playing Joe Biden, is being set up for a takedown because the white hats just couldn't say, hey, white hat actor, stop acting. It's time to reveal you to the world. Nope, got to be a takedown.
The man that we see as president of the United States is not Joe Biden, right? This is some guy. Joe Biden's been out for a while, right? 2019 and 2019. We talked about that over and over and over again. Anybody that looks at this guy that's on TV and thinks that that's Joe Biden, you need your head examined, number one. Number two, you need your eyes checked. Because the guy that's in there right now is not Joe Biden. So when I say Joe Biden tonight, I don't want you to think that I'm talking about the actual Joe Biden, the pedophile Joe Biden, the criminal Joe Biden. The guy that's standing in his place is standing there to set a precedent, to show everyone what happens if you rise to the level of, in politics, to the Senate, to Congress, and keep in mind, Joe Biden spent years in the Senate.
But we're all going to know that it's not the real Joe Biden. They're going to reveal this truth to everybody. You're telling us that, like, this is just a big play. They're going to pretend like he did all this evil, but it's not even really him. And they're going to make an example out of him, but it's not him. And they're going to show that what all he did, but it's not him. It's not been him for years, according to Phil. According to Phil, it hasn't been him since he was the vice president.
Wait until you see how far back his crimes actually stretch. Right now, we're focused on this charisma, China, Hunter Biden, business partner thing. Just wait. Wait until you see what else that the real Joe Biden actually did. Just wait. So I went to my source and I said, it appears that Joe Biden is being set up for a very public, very abrupt takedown. My source responded with extraction. That word should be...
Somebody said the storm part 5. His marriage is legal, by the way. I never readdressed that. His marriage is legal. I saw a letter from his lawyer saying that the divorce would be finalized by the end of that week. That was probably 3 or 4 weeks before he went to get married to Carrie in the Dominican Republic. They went and got a legit marriage. His marriage is legit with Carrie.
Familiar, not extraction in itself, but the word extract. Because if we go back to Q-Drop 101, several very interesting items are listed in Q-Drop 101, but extract is one of them. So when he said extraction, my mind went to 2012. That was
the craziest thing is that some troll on the internet pretending to be a government insider kicked all this off.
The first place my mind went to. 2012, not 16, not 2020 election fraud, not Barack, none of that. Not Joe Biden at all.
I know.
My mind went to 2012 and Barack Obama, because you know what almost happened in 2012 after Barack Obama won a second term? The military almost extracted Barack Obama from office. The military almost performed a coup, just like Myanmar, Burma, the country. They had a coup recently, too, in their most recent election, where the military went in, arrested everybody, and figured it out later. That almost happened to Barack Obama in 2012. And the reason that it didn't is because...
we live in the United States. That's not going to happen. We're not going to have a Myanmar. We're not going to have it. That's not going to happen. Right? We have an impeachment process. We have checks and balances. We have different amendments that you can put into place. That's not going to happen.
Donald Trump and a group of patriots convinced the powers that be that it's not the best route for the country because, on paper, Barack Obama was the most popular president to ever run for president. He was, according to the media, loved by all. And according to the media, everything was great in our country. No one actually knew back then what was happening behind the scenes. No one knew. There was no queue. There was no,
Pizzagate was going on back then. That's a lie.
Private messaging boards that told us what was happening.
They're literally what? 4chan was around during Obama, you fucking retard. What are you talking about? God damn it. The 4chan's been around since like the early 2000s. Since like 2002 or some shit. What are you talking about? And there's been idiots posted on there as government insiders since about inception.
It would have caused civil unrest, if not civil war, if Barack Obama was extracted from office by the military because of crimes against humanity and numerous other things. But at the very best, it would have caused civil unrest and massive divide within our country. And at the worst, it would have caused civil war. So they chose not to do it. So that's where my mind went when my source told me in regards to Joe Biden and all of this mounting evidence that the sitting president of the United States, Joe Biden, none of those things are actually factually accurate, but it made no sense that
Phil didn't even know how to do a trip code. Phil doesn't know how he posted on 4chan or 8chan or 8kun. When I asked him like a trip code, Q's trip code was fucking hacked a couple times. One time it was Matlock, like the show with Andy Griffith in it or whatever, and he's like he plays an attorney. When I asked him, oh, well, you know what a trip code is? How did you sign into Q's account to post as Q? He's like, oh, Ron Watkins just did it for me. What? Ron Watkins just signed us in when I needed to post. Oh, okay. Well, what is a trip code? It's like two-factor authentication on your phone. Like where you sign in twice on a different device. Oh, okay. That's it? Great.
Someone in that high of a power seat could remain as president of the United States. And then if you look at all the stories that have been mounting.
A trip code, if you don't know, is how you identify someone. So all these 4chan, 8chan, 8kun are all anonymous sites. So if I said, hey, I'm going to a job interview today, I'll let you know how it goes on this site. And you want to know how it goes, anybody could come back in and put, anon user number, blah, 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 and say, oh, I got the job, or oh, I didn't get it, blah, blah, blah. The only way you would know it was me is by a trip code. That's how I can post to you several times. And what a trip code is it's a complex algorithm. It's usually at least 2 of them to where I put in a password. My password is banana, and it spits out *862ULPQR, like capital letters, lowercase letters. It spits out a trip code, right? And it's supposed to be not very hackable because you're not supposed to be able to send it back to the algorithm to figure out what my passcode is or my password is, so you could come in and post as me. So today I might be Q or QAnon Patriot, or I might be Will, or I might be Cold Beer Confessional, or I might be CBC as my username. But as long as I have that same trip code below my name, you would know that it was me posting every time. That's how Q posts. He had the same trip code every time. Well, it's changed a few times, but he was supposed to have the same trip code every time. Then they started manually putting his trip code in, which everybody knew that they were fucking with the website.
It makes sense to me, and this is why I ask, that the person who occupies the seat of President of the United States is going to be forcefully removed from office. And when I pushed a little bit further after...
Forcefully removed from office. His underbite got worse since his teeth got bigger.
My source told me extraction, and I asked, are they physically going to remove him again in a certain amount of words? Are they physically going to remove Joe Biden from office?
And again, in a certain amount of words, but you repeated the same thing twice.
The answer is yes. We are looking at a military takeover of the White House. Everything that we thought should happen back in January of 2021, post-election fraud, and prior to the inauguration in January of 2021, we thought it should happen back then.
This is the dumbest theory he could ever come up with. This is the dumbest made-up theory he could ever come up with. Why? Because this is going to be world news. Everybody will hear about it. Everybody will know about it. Everybody could live stream it on the White House live stream cam. He should have said it'll be done quietly. It'll be done secretly. You might not even know it happened. But no, now we're looking for a fucking Abrams tank to drive through the White House and just go back and forth over Joe Biden while he looks for ice cream in the downstairs freezer.
Well, why didn't it? Well, there were a lot of people that had to be rooted out, not just Joe Biden, many others. You are looking...
Not nearly as many, Q idiot. He says if there had been no COVID, would the Q-tards exist today? Not nearly as many. There were still people that believed it before COVID, but there was a lot of people that sat at home, got on the internet, and got indoctrinated. It is when it took a more... it used to be hardcore right-wing, almost like neo-Nazis. But then it got like these new age and ascension people and fucking yoga instructors and shit in it. Like, it's very weird now.
At the most significant event in the history of the world, other than Jesus Christ walking the earth. You are looking at the most significant event ever. There is going to be a military coup on the foreign operative, Joe Biden. Joe Biden will not. Oh, and here's another thing. If you start looking at logic, right? Let's talk about logic for a minute. Joe Biden doesn't even have a campaign headquarters set up yet. You're looking at an election, in 14 months-ish? He's not campaigning. The dude's not running.
His election headquarters is the White House. He's the incumbent, and there's no primary against him. No one's going to support a primary again. What does he need to do? What does he need to do? He's already got the bid. He's going to be the nominee. I don't care what they say about fucking, somebody's going to have to run as a third party. And third parties don't win. They split votes. So what does he need to be doing? What does he need to be doing? This was from, when was this posted? Last month on July 18th, okay? President Joe Biden will make his longtime residence in Wilmington, Delaware, the headquarters of his 2024 campaign, he announced on Tuesday. But realistically, he'll probably be working mostly out of the White House. My family's values, my eternal optimism, and unwavering belief in American middle class as our nation's backbone comes from my home from Delaware, Biden said in a statement. That's why there's no better place for our re-election campaign to have its headquarters. So that's a lie. That's a straight up lie. You can just Google that. That's from Politico.
For president, you know why? Because he's going to be removed from office.
Joe Biden has not stepped a foot in the White House. You're retarded. You're retarded.
And arrested for his treason that he's committed. Treason is a crime punishable by death. Joe Biden.
What's the neon thing flashing? That's Phil's teeth. The neon thing flashing is Phil's teeth. They're bigger, bolder, and wider. No, that's his microphone he borrowed from Todd.
Not make any ballot ever again. Now, your first question is going to be, well, when? Well, I can tell you that knowing everything that I just said to be true, it has to be soon. I don't have a date for you if that's what you're looking for. That's not what this was about, but I'm telling you that that's how it's going to happen. The military is going to forcefully remove Joe Biden from the presidency of the United States. And at that point, the presidency,
Even Phil just said that the military is going to remove Joe Biden from the White House. If he's never stepped foot in the White House, are they going to bring him in a potato sack and dump him out, then pick him up?
The White House is going to be run for a very short period of time by the military, publicly. And here's why it took this long to happen. We had the Sam Fried stuff long ago.
There's 40 other fucking sources: Politico, Reuters, CBS News, Delaware Business Times, the News Journal, JoeBidenForPresident.com, Fox News, NPR, CNN, Twitter, Decision Desk HQ, CNN again, Slate, NBC 10 Philadelphia. Like, what the fuck do you want? What source do you want?
Charisma stuff long ago.
Down with mainstream media makes me think that you're a fucking cucumber. So watch yourself.
We had the Crossfire Hurricane information long ago. The Hunter Biden laptop, a long time ago. Rudy Giuliani had that back in before the election, 2020. Before the election. This moment for the military coup.
Is this Kerry's emergency liquor supply? It looks like a canteen pouch, but it's got 2 bottles with metal caps on it, and they're brown bottles. Is this her emergency liquor supply?
Has been planned out, thought out for a very, very long time. And every single little detail, every box has been checked, every T has been crossed, every I has been dotted. And that's how it ends. That's the end game. Extraction. An extraction of the sitting president of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what's going to happen. Then you start looking at
extraction.
Well, in July of 2021, I reported that the Supreme Court had already ruled on overturning the election of 2020 due to fraud. Now we have 2,000 mules. Now we have...
Oh, the Supreme Court already ruled, and that would be announced months and months. He set it up 3 times to be announced, and it was never announced. That's strange.
If you're grifting and you know it, whiten your teeth. If you're grifting and you know it, whiten your teeth. If you're grifting and you know it, then your lies will surely show it. If you're grifting and you know it, whiten your teeth.
Thank you very much, Yeller Nuts. That's a catchy tune. That is a catchy tune. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The stuff coming out from Michigan, there's stuff...
They don't like sourced information. They like YouTube videos. That's exactly right. But my influencer didn't say it.
To come out in Georgia, there's a lot of stuff that has been trickling out, right, over the last 2.5 years. When Joe Biden gets removed from office, forcefully, by the military, the question then gets asked, well, who replaces him? Can't be Kamala, right? I mean, she was on the ticket too. There's going to be a lot.
We were told that the Brunson decision by the Supreme Court would be announced before the midterms, and soon before that, and the summer before that, and then after the midterms after that, and it's still coming. They're still going to announce it. All they were waiting on was his source, the best source you can have, is they had to get the Supreme Court justice somewhere where they could protect them. Then they're going to announce it.
That case made, well, she knew of Biden's ongoings and his nefarious activities. She knew of it. So Kamala Harris. So then who? Well, the question is going to be asked of the Supreme Court who. And the Supreme Court will rule on a special ballot on the authenticity of the 2020 election. And they will rule that
on a special ballot. So we don't get to, no one gets to elect presidents anymore. The Supreme Court picks them. That makes sense. That makes sense. The Supreme Court just overturned Roe v. Wade because they decided that the Supreme Court should not make the law of the land. But they're about to come in and pick the president.
Was fraudulent, and they will cross out forever the presidency of Joseph Robinette Biden. Now, you ask, well, Phil, if you say Joe Biden was actually taken care of in the 2019, whatever, if that's the case, why persecute the guy that's in office now? He's not Biden. He didn't do these things, right? That's correct. He's not the guy that did these things. It's a precedent. It's an example. They are using a character to take punishment for the crimes that the actual guy really did.
Show me these people claim that Joe Biden doesn't believe in the Constitution. He's made a mockery of the Constitution. Show me in the Constitution where it says Supreme Court justices pick the president. Show me. I can't wait to watch these people have fucking nervous. It's too late. I've put the information out there. I know you fucking seen it. all you guys do is fucking talk about how fucking stupid I am and how wrong I am and shit over there in Phil's chat. I can't wait until you have mental fucking breakdowns when you find out the truth. And you've been following this guy and you've basically given him millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to rub in your fucking face.
Okay? That would be like saying, okay, Charlie Manson. He was convicted of, these crimes. Timothy McVeigh, the bomber of Oklahoma City. I'm going to use McVeigh instead of Manson. McVeigh was put to death pretty quickly, actually, by lethal injection. If they made a movie about Timothy McVeigh, and the actor that played Timothy McVeigh was, Justin Timberlake. At the end of the movie, Justin Timberlake doesn't get executed. In fact, the day after you see the movie, you see Justin Timberlake talking about the movie. How great of a character, blah, 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 whatever. Are you mad that Justin
Timothy McVeigh, from OKC, right? Oklahoma City bombing. The Oklahoma City bombing was when? 95? 94? 95? And then the trial was like through 96, 97. It was like 2 years. So, and then the trial was like 2 years. And then he was put to death in 2000 or 2001. I don't know if that's pretty quick, actually. The 6 years, something like that.
Timberlake didn't get executed? No, because Justin Timberlake didn't commit the crimes that McVeigh did, right? And don't get me started on McVeigh. I'm just using it as an example based on the information that you already know. There's a whole story behind that we won't get into now. But
so the Joe Biden actor's not really going to be executed even though he's sentenced to death because they already killed Joe Biden secretly behind our backs.
You're not mad that Timberlake didn't get executed, right? You just want the actual guy that did those actual things to be punished, right?
No, that's not quick. I don't think that's quick if you don't drag it out. Like if you don't try to appeal. He was what they call a volunteer. He volunteered for execution. Like he waived all his rights to appeal. He waived all his rights to do anything and volunteered to be executed. I just watched a documentary on Timothy McVeigh the other day.
So the guy that's playing Joe Biden right now, he didn't do it. He's being asked to stand in and hold a role, right? To hold a place. He's not going to be punished. The guy that already did this has been punished. You are literally watching a movie. And I hate to brag. Prior to the inauguration in 2021 and post-election is when I really started doing pretty heavy live streams and I started building a really big audience. Nothing like it is now with the millions that watch, but tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. I told you that this was how it would end. I told you over and over and over that you are looking at a military exercise. There has been continuity of government documents that have been put into place. You are literally watching an occupation of the White House that does not technically exist. Donald Trump became a wartime president as soon as they released that COVID virus.
Oh, okay.
This has all been set up for a military coup from day one. The question was, how do you do it? How do you arrive at the final point? How do you get from point A to Z? And what happens all in between? Well, what happens in between is you see the corruption with your own eyes of the government from top to bottom. You see what happened with Fauci and with COVID and with Pfizer and Remdesivir and the vaccine and all this stuff. You think Robert Kennedy Jr. running for president and exposing...
Timothy McVeigh actually had one appeal that got to the Supreme Court, which was like on, what was that word that we were looking at the other day? Certiorari or some shit. I can never say it right. But after that failed, he volunteered and wanted his execution to be nationally televised. He actually requested it. But I think that obviously that was denied. There was another lawsuit around that, certiorari or some shit, like I don't know how to say it. There was actually another lawsuit around that. Some young like startup internet company sued because they felt that they had the right to broadcast the execution. Yeah, they thought that they had the right, but obviously they failed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Fauci in the manner that he did is just a coincidence? Kennedy plays a role in this too. Of course he would. Why wouldn't he? Do you think Q, who posted thousands of times on the message boards about this happening right now, do you think that was all? Do you seriously think that was all just a LARP? You really think that that is just coincidence? That those entities posting as Q had military level clearance. Don Jr. seemed very, very nervous. Well, not nervous, but very uncomfortable the other night when he was asked who was Q. You know what he said? His answer was super intriguing to me, and I think people look more at his reaction than his actual words and what he meant. But when he was asked who is Q, and this was on a Q&A that he did on his Rumble broadcast, Triggered.
Yeah, he basically dropped all of his remaining appeals after that one failed, and said that he would rather be executed than spend the rest of his life in jail. That was an actual statement from him.
Don Jr. laughed, appeared uncomfortable, and then he said the following words: "You'll never know."
And he said his only regret was not destroying the building completely or some shit like that. Not doing a better job. I can't remember, something like that.
You will never know. But when he was asked who is Q, and this was on a Q&A that he did on his Rumble broadcast, Triggered, Don Jr. laughed, appeared uncomfortable, and then he said the following words: "You'll never know. You'll never know."
Again, I think this is a slap in the face that Trump and them have went full Q-tard. They should have denied this shit back in way, way, way back in the day. When they were, I don't know, I've heard some stuff. Donald Trump, as the American president who gets briefed on everything every fucking day, is like, I don't know much about Q. I heard they don't like pedophiles. That's good, ain't it? And that's when it fucking kicked off. He's been playing to their narrative. He's been doing retarded shit. He's been posting retarded shit. And now his sons and family members are out here completely fucking endorsing it.
Not we'll never know. Not we don't know. Not I don't know, meaning he doesn't know himself. He said, "You'll never know." How does he know that?
Well, he actually says, "You'll never know," or will you? Or will we? What does he say? Hold on. See if somebody's clipped it. Here it is.
Who is Q? You'll never know, folks. I'm not sure. Or maybe I know and I just can't tell you.
Or maybe I know and I just can't tell you.
Who do you guys think it is, out of curiosity?
Okay, that's what he said.
Q? You'll never know, folks. I'm not sure. Or maybe I know and I just can't tell you. Who do you guys think it is, out of curiosity?
God, that pisses me off that they would even fucking do that. Obviously, he sounds uncomfortable, probably because he didn't want to answer it, but still, that they'd even fucking play along with this shit pisses me off.
How does he know that we'll never know? Why did he say it so quickly and with such assurance? Did you notice that too? Really quick.
That's right, Burgie.
And 100% certain that you will never find out. Interesting. What do you say? So that tells me that he, or someone very close to him, or a team of individuals, including himself, or if not including himself, that he does know very closely, knows who Q is, and he is also 100% certain that you won't find out. And so am I, by the way. I'm also 100% certain that you will not find out. Because no one needs to know who Q is or was.
Yeah, it was federal.
Or who the people behind Q were, if there's multiple people. All we need to know is that the information that Q was talking about through 2017 all the way through 2023 is accurate. And I'm here to tell you tonight that I'm having a hard time finding anything that Q talked about to be inaccurate. And you'll hear the media say, "Oh, well, none of that came true." Bullshit. Bullshit. None of it came true. What are you talking about? The only people that say that are the people that actually don't know what's happening. They're not. Okay. Maybe they're only watching the mainstream media. Maybe they're
the people that don't believe Phil when he says it all happened already. You can't see it. You can't know it. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You can't talk to any normal person about it. But it happened, and that's how we know it all happened.
Involved in the mainstream media. I saw one interview, I think it was on, I don't know if it was BBC, but it was some network that the anchor, the interviewer was foreign. He had a British accent. And he was interviewing the QAnon shaman guy, or whatever they call him, Jacob. And Jake made him look completely incompetent. The things that this anchor was saying is just nuts. But completely interviewing the QAnon shaman guy. It was some network that the anchor, the interviewer was foreign. He had a British accent. And he was the people that actually don't know what's happening. Maybe they're only watching the mainstream media. Maybe they're involved in the mainstream media. I saw one interview, I think it was on, I don't know if it was BBC, but it was some network that the anchor, the interviewer was foreign. He had a British accent. And he was interviewing the QAnon shaman guy.
Shaman? QAnon shaman guy. By the way, Phil says that QAnon is not a thing. Remember? Shaman is the word he's looking for. The word that he's looking for is shaman. He's looking for the word shaman. Anyways, he always said anybody who says QAnon doesn't know what they're talking about, and I would never listen to them again. There's Q and there's the Anons, but listen to what Phil says.
Whatever they call him. Work that the anchor, the interviewer was foreign. He had a British accent, and he was interviewing the QAnon shaman guy, whatever they call him, Jacob. And Jake made him look.
QAnon shamam guy, the QAnon your mom guy, Jacob, the QAnon your mom guy. The fuck is wrong with you?
Delta Airlines is committed to net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
I'm trying to see what
because
this interview
we know
will play.
a thing or two about getting where we need to be. And it's time we all got going together.
My actions were not an attack on this country. That is incorrect. That is inaccurate. I sang a song, and that's a part of shamanism. It's about creating positive vibrations in a sacred chamber. I also stop people from stealing and vandalizing that sacred space, the Senate. I also said a prayer in that sacred chamber because it was my intention to bring divinity and to bring God back into the Senate. That is the one very serious regret that I have, was believing that when we were waved in by police officers that it was acceptable.
What was it about Donald Trump that you felt so fiercely loyal to, that you hung on every word and you interpreted his words in certain ways?
I developed a lot of sympathy for Donald Trump because it seemed like the media was picking on him. It seemed like the establishment was going after him unnecessarily or unfairly. And I had been a victim of that all of my life, whether it be at school or at home.
So they're the people that were picked on in school.
So in many ways, I identified with a lot of the negative things that he was going through.
I know Phil was.
And I honestly believed and still believe that he cares about the Constitution, that he cares.
He'd wipe his fucking ass with the Constitution. He'd wipe his ass with the Constitution. That's why he was trying to put people in place to fucking steal the goddamn election. Even if he believed he was cheated, there are routes in the Constitution to dispute that. If you're going to put in a new fucking attorney general and that you want him to say the election was stolen just so you can stay there, fuck you. Fuck you.
Look completely incompetent. The things that this anchor was saying is just nuts. But we're heading, in the United States of America, we are headed for a military takeover. We are headed for a military takeover of the highest office in the United States, the presidency, the White House. There is a major global military exercise scheduled for mid-August. I think the dates might even be the 9th through the 16th for a week, and they say that it's to coordinate time zones across the world with actual activity just for a week, and they say that a major global military exercise scheduled for mid-August. I think the dates might even be the 9th through the 16th for a week.
Listen how he's going to butcher this. They are doing this to coordinate their systems. Well, first of all, they do this often. We already read about one in 2021. And it is across multiple time zones, and it involves people from all around the world, blah, blah, blah. It's a huge Navy and Marine Corps exercise. And they did it in 2021 when the system first rolled out in 2. But it's this full system. It's like we had, Blue Force Tracker and shit. It's this full system to where a general level can view the battlefield and basically make like real-time decisions based on what's actually going on all over the fucking globe. Plus, all the way down to like a single source, like a single platoon of soldiers can update this system and be in contact. So they're doing exercises that literally said it would be from the general in command all the way down to a Marine kicking in a door. And they're all going to be synced up across 17, 21, 52 time zones, and that everything was going through.
They say that it's to coordinate time zones across the world with actual activity. Just the craziest excuse I've ever seen.
Well, they don't do it every year, but they've done it before. Oh, shit. Border Collies are not the best, because I am an asshole. Jesus Christ. Somebody's trying to pay the light bill finally. What was that about, Border Collies? I'm an asshole, yo. I'm a little bit of an asshole. I'll take that. That's all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So they don't do it every year to this scale. They have these exercises every year, but they do it every few years to this scale. And then in the off years, they do it in like smaller exercises. But it's also a saber rattle. It's also a show of force, right? We got a lot going on with Russia. We got a lot going on. I heard that some Russian, this is just chatter among people I know in the military, that some Russian fast movers, jets, violated Polish airspace. And the Polish people are like rabid dogs when it comes to like Russia. They want to fuck with Russia. They're like, fuck around and find out. So this is also like a show of force. We're showing that we have this access around the world, globally, blah, blah, blah. It's just stuff that you do. We used to go out and fucking shoot the sides of a mountain and shit just to show them what the fucking power we had. And kind of get them riled up too. But yeah, it's just a show of force. Plus they do this not every year, but often.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it's going to happen next week in those dates that I just mentioned, but I wouldn't be surprised. Everything's lining up pretty nicely. You are in for, I mean, in my opinion, we've already seen enough to know that Joe Biden is corrupt and is lining up pretty nicely in those dates that I just mentioned, but it's just the craziest excuse I've ever seen. Coordinate time for mid-August. I think the dates might even be the 9th through the 16th for a week, and they say that it's to coordinate time zones across the world with actual activity. Just the craziest excuse.
It's not to coordinate time zones. Navy.mil website. Norfolk, Virginia. Admiral Daryl Cottle, Commander, U.S. Fleet Forces Command, and Lieutenant General Brian Kavanaugh, Commander, Marine Forces Command, announced the upcoming large-scale exercise LSC 2023 during a media event held at U.S. Fleet Forces Command July 24th. The LSC brings together the combined firepower of the Navy and Marine Corps team across 6 maritime components, commands 7 numbered fleets, and 22 time zones. The exercise is scheduled to run from August 19th to August 9th through 18th. The ability to command and control our operations across 22 time zones is how we will fight and win in a global environment against our competitors, said Cottle. To do so, we have to globally synchronize precision and our individual timing in order to conduct high-end modern warfare. LSC 2023 merges real-world operations with virtually constructed scenarios to create a realistic training environment that allows our sailors and Marines to train the way we fight, regardless of geographic boundaries. LSC was designed to reinforce the Chief of Naval Operations effort to set the stage for advancing naval doctrine and tactics by globally integrating fleet operations with emerging technologies to refine and validate distributed maritime operations, DMO capabilities. Conducting these operations in a live, virtual, and constructive manner is key, said Kavanaugh. From the tactical end, where we have sailors and Marines doing operations on the ground or at sea, all the way up to the command and control aspect, our ability to synchronize and conduct those operations are critical. It doesn't have anything to do with syncing our time zones together. It's the fact that we can command the global scale from around the world, no matter where you're at, no matter what time zone you're in, or what longitude, latitude, what country, we can coordinate it all. Fucking idiot. LSC is the second iteration of this exercise and builds on lessons learned. This is the part they never read you because they say it's never been done before, but we watched a TikTok video about it. The very last paragraph says LSC 2023 is the second iteration of this exercise and builds on lessons learned from LSC 2021 and warfighter concepts refined through fleet battle problems that have been experienced in off years. There you go.
I've ever seen. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it's going to happen next week in those dates that I just mentioned, but I wouldn't be surprised. Everything's lining up pretty nicely. You are in for, I mean, in my opinion, we've already seen enough to know that Joe Biden is corrupt and an asset of at least China and maybe several other countries as well. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe we need to see a little bit more. Maybe we need to see.
I think the Republicans, just like I condemned Adam Schiff when he said there was, they had these closed door meetings, and they said that all the Russian collusion was there. They had it all. They had tons of evidence, blah, blah, blah. And then when it became public, they asked him what evidence he had. It was basically nothing. I blame Republicans now for going to the extreme measures they are, trying to link Hunter and Joe together in some type of trade deal, even though everybody's told them they never did business practice, blah, blah, blah. There's no evidence, but they're pretending like there is evidence, like a smoking gun somewhere, and there just isn't.
Actual proof on the mainstream media of what Joe Biden has done, or maybe not. Maybe we see that after the fact. But what I do know is the United States is headed for a military coup, and there will be EDS, and there will be limited martial law in certain areas. And I, for one, am extremely, extremely thankful that this is how it will end. Because for everything that all of us have been through, some more than others, I think we deserve it. I think we deserve military action at the highest level.
They'll all be wearing their "I told you so" shirts with Q's for the O's.
Every single wrong that has been done to any of us through military action can somehow be corrected, or at least.
So, did you hear what he just said? I lost my grandma and my grandpa and my family and my kids, and I lost my job that I liked. I lost everything. But I believe that everything that's been done bad to us can be corrected with military intervention at the White House when they extract Joe Biden. By the way, when you're going in to like a snatch and grab to like pull out an enemy asset or kill them or take over whatever, capture them. Oh, shit. President T1 tipped $20. Thank you very much.
$20. Thank you for the laughs.
Thank you, President T1, for the $20. I appreciate it. That'll go to the light bill. What are we down to? Like $300 left? You don't call it an extraction.
At least, it'll make us feel better to a certain extent. For those of you over here saying, how is this intel? Either, number one, something is really wrong with your ears and you can't hear it well. Or number two, you're just ignorant. Or I guess there's a third, you could just be a troll. But I have my only troll that I need over here tonight, Oliver. So I just got done telling you that I confirmed with...
Why does he keep laughing? Does he think that's hilarious? Is that the funniest thing he's heard today? Like his shit's so
a very
awkward.
high-level source of mine, the only source that anyone would ever need, that the United States is heading for a military takeover of the highest level of office in the country, which is the White House. I just told you that. And somebody is over here asking, how is this intel? You know, I heard somebody, we all know the phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink if it gets old, right? I heard the best phrase from, it was actually an old baseball coach of mine. He said, you know, son, he didn't say this to me, he said this to one of my teammates, but it was hilarious. I actually, they punished me. I had to run because I laughed so hard at the coach after he said this. He said, you know, son, he said, I could explain things 1,000 times to you, but I can't understand them for you. I just thought that was real funny. And it's very...
Yeah, I'm sure your coach made that up. We've all fucking heard that.
It's very fitting to this situation. Like, I can explain things 1,000 times to some people, and no matter what I do or how I do it or how I say it, or oftentimes I say things 6 different ways during a live because I want all the different people who understand things a different way to hear it and to understand it. And people still don't get it. Somebody just pointed out over here in the chat that the 9th to the 18th, actually, I think I said 16th before, but they're saying 9th to the 18th, and they pointed out that that's 10 days. Sure is. We know something else about 10 days too, don't we? Yep.
Oh my God, what just happened? Can you guys still see the stream? Did I just get shut down? Hold on just a second, because I can't see it. Bear with me. How did I get signed the fuck out? What is going on? Oh my God, what is going on? Stop it. I can see chat. Oh wait, I'm back. I'm back, but I continued without logging in, and now I can't see my things, my activity feed. God damn it! It logged me out of Stream Elements. So now those Stream Elements alerts, well, yeah, they still work. I just won't be able to see the activity feed and stuff. Okay. Anyways, hold on. I don't know how I just got logged out of fucking everything. They're in the middle of a live stream. Most people would say that the 9th through the 18th would be 9 days, by the way, not 10. If it was 9th through the 19th, then people would say that was 10. But so sometimes when they literally say stuff, they'll be like, oh, it's the 2nd through the 12th. That's 10 days. But they'll also say, oh, it's the 3rd through the 12th. That's 10 days. It doesn't make any sense.
So that's the intel for tonight. That's what I got. In my opinion, it's the greatest news that I've been able to report since I've been reporting. I think it's the most exciting news to date that I've ever reported on. Okay. And I, for one, and I know many of you, are excited, anxious, and relieved to hear it. The question now is, the biggest question in my mind, when? When does it happen? And I know that's...
I think that Stream Elements must be updating or something, because it wanted me to log into my Twitch and it logged me out. I'm trying to log in over here, and even on Stream Elements website, it doesn't want to log me in. Okay, now it logged me in, so let me see. Stream Elements. Let's see if I can log in here. Why does it say log out? I'm not logged in, am I? Docs. Oh, maybe I am. It just closed all my docs, maybe? Soundboard chat. I got a soundboard? I don't have any sounds on it. Yeah, that's through Restream right there. Restream channels, that's chat. Where is the activity feed? I guess it just took it away from me, huh? There's the ads one. Oh, SE Live Docs. Hold on just a second. I'm going to try logging in again. Now that it's let me log in over here. Damn it, stop sending me the SMS code. 193-589. Don't use that. I'm just kidding. By the time y'all hear it, I've already used it. Oh, now you want to work, you piece of shit. Huh? Okay, now everything's back perfectly. The fuck?
That's my questions too. I get that. I don't know. All I can do is put the pieces together, keep looking at the clues that are right in our face, start looking more closely at comms that we may not have listened to or caught before from either Trump or some of the higher ups like Scavino, Kash Patel. I told you guys to watch Kash Patel many months ago. I told you to keep your eye on him. I see Elon saying a lot of interesting things lately. I think we should watch for him. The entire corrupt organization is about to get Sodom and Gomorrah to the ground, struck down so hard with such force from the Patriots. The reason why I wore that shirt tonight. I'm so proud of the good guys to actually do this and to actually come through on what the nation needed to heal. Not only do we need it to heal, but we also needed it to set a precedent. Like I said before, to anybody else that ever tries to do such a thing, here is what you did. Here is how we caught you, and here's what happened to you because we caught you. For anybody that tries to do this in the future, and simultaneously what we're doing is we're shutting off the central banking funding. We are not going to have central banking to foreign private banks anymore. BRICS, Nasera, whatever you want to call it, is going to give the power back to the people, money back in their pocket. We're no longer going to be stolen from, forever in debt.
That makes sense.
Vengeance, vindication, and precedent. That's what's being set. You will most certainly have EBS, and that's what I told you in one of my last lives. And now I know why. Because you can't pull off a military takeover without EBS. You can't pull off a military takeover without martial law. You can't pull off a military takeover without some of the greatest military minds to have ever lived. And we have those people alive right now. I wish we had some others that are no longer with us, but It's coming. It's coming. All right, that is the intel portion of my live tonight. We are going to do a giveaway right now for my local subscribers. So whoever has not yet subscribe to locals. I told you there will be 5 recent winners. Whoever has not yet, meaning if you signed up in the last 3 days, whoever has not yet signed up, that contest is over for recent winners. If you are currently a local sub, I'm about to read some names off of here right now, and we will get the coins out to you. We will contact you to make sure that the shipping information and everything is. I will not contact you, but Tristan will. She'll contact you to make sure that your shipping information is accurate and all that kind of stuff. So let's get started here. I'm going to do the last 5 days, the last 3 days winners first. Okay, so if you subscribe to my local channel in the last 5 days, I'm going to read your name first. Okay, I'm going to read 5 names. These are the first 5 winners of 25 winners. This is for a 1 ounce silver
Thank God.
American Eagle. They don't come in a
this shit. Anything else
all right, very
going
first
on?
Winner from the last 72 hours is
Philomena Godlewski.
Here is Jennifer Coastal. Jennifer Coastal. One right here. What about this one?
I can't wait till we hear Mariah Bird.
Second. This is so.
I may have. Well, it's not even my news, but there may be some big news fixing to come out. It's not even my news, but I hope I get for this person. I hope I get to drop some news for them, I guess. I don't know if we will get to or not. Is there anything important in his giveaway part? Someone says this takes forever. Exciting stuff right here. Riveting. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to watch it. What do you guys think? You want to watch the giveaway portion? Seems pretty shitty, but whatever.
Okay, here's one. Todd Bennick. Todd Bennick. That's B-E-N-N-I-C-K. Todd Bennick. Just subscribed recently, the other day. Oh, crap. Sorry. All right, that's winner number 2 of the most recent winners. We'll go on now to winner number 3.
He makes a couple bad jokes. Perfect.
All right, winner number 3 is going to be Judy Wetmore. Judy Wetmore. W-E-T-M-O-R-E. Judy Wetmore.
Ooh.
Winner number 3. And that is, again, these are all people that have subscribed in the past 72 hours.
I need to do a sponsorship again soon, guys.
Oh, here we go. Default created. Here we go. Okay, next. Local subscribers. Congratulations to the 4 winners so far. We're going to do one more of the recents, and then we're going to go on to the subscribers. Now we're going to go on to the really a determination of how long you've been subscribed to locals. It's just outside of the 72-hour window that those recent winners were at. So, all right, let's see. Winner number 1 of 20 is Chris Palmer. Chris Palmer, P-A-L-M-E-R. Chris Palmer. Chris, here's.
There's no chance he's doing these legit. He hasn't done anything legit in his life. There's no chance he's picking these legit.
Jan Decker, D-E-C-K-E-R.
I guarantee he's just scrolling through and being like, oh, this one.
Also along.
It's not random.
Heather Burnett. It's just depending on for locals. We do this for silver, maybe something different. Maybe we'll do gold. Who knows? Never say your name, bro. Anthony.
How many people left in the giveaway, Legend? How bad was it?
10 and 7. You guys are watching? Hang over here real quick. See if this is. Which we can't discuss right now. The people that have subscribed in the last 3 days, that was in winners of tonight were. And again, these are people that have not subscribed in the past 3 days. The first 5 winners of tonight were. Excuse me.
You can't have it.
Angie Shifley.
I do have a way to make a mobile version.
Angie.
You can't just put it on a flash drive. You have to be able to make a mobile OBS version, which I can do, but I wouldn't give it to you.
Shifley. That's S-H-I-F-L-E-Y. Angie Shifley. Congratulations, Angie. That's number 8.
600 to 1,300 every 2 minutes or so. Holy shit.
I-N-E-Y. First name, full name is Chadwick. Okay, number 14 is going to be Bridget Holloway. Bridget L. Derek Hall, number 17. Derek Hall. Congrats, Derek. That's going to be a pretty cool coin that you get. So be on the lookout for that. And again, before any of these get sent out, just so you guys know, Tristan's going to reach out to you via email. Make sure that you actually exist. I'm sure you do because you're paying me. But we're going to do that anyway, just as a precaution. You guys are funny over there, Muckles.
I know that his I know that some of his locals followers were freaking out because of some post he made titled "The End" the other day. Mariah was watching it in the chat. She likes to watch the chat and take screenshots of it. Yeah. What's Rumble's refresh 2 minutes because then it makes sense. No, actually it's 5 minutes, but you were probably seeing it on 2.5 minute cycles because they were opposed or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? They're supposed to refresh every 5 minutes.
When this shit goes down, and we do have military intervention, and some of the people that I read off tonight are annual subscribers taking advantage of that annual subscription plan. You pay $120, I think it is, and you get annual membership for the full year. You could also, if you don't have $120 to dish out, you could also subscribe monthly to the $15 level, and that's only $15 a month.
Oh, when I called the embassy trying to... So there was a guy that Liberty Warrior covered that claimed that he wasn't allowed to leave some tropical island in the South Pacific, and he had like all these health problems or whatever, but he was a Q-tard, talking about drinking his own piss and like Trump, and it was just a crazy Q-tard. He believed in Nasara Gassara. So I called the U.S. Embassy trying to convince them to keep him there. We didn't want him back. Oh, that was fucked up. That was really mean. Like we don't want. No, you guys just keep him. He probably won't last too much longer. He needed some type of medical treatment or some shit. He had to get off the island for it. That was funny. God damn, that was funny.
And you can cancel that at any time if you want to. Just so you guys know, I want you to know this, and I said this before, but I'll say it again. When this shit goes down, and we do have military intervention, and things get a little fuzzy there for a while. After this ends, and we get Trump back in office, and the bad guys go to jail, and get military tribunals, and whatever may happen to those evil people, I will still be doing videos. I'll be doing videos on a variety of things, probably a lot.
But none of that's ever going to happen. But he's still going to be doing videos and trying to make money.
It's on the corruption that was, and helping do my part of exposing it in case people are out there that don't necessarily know about it yet.
Do you guys remember when I called in to join 7K Metals, and Phil told everybody I committed a felony, and I had that woman on the line the whole time? I was Don Kedeck, and I had her on the line the whole time. I was like, "You really think he's Edward Snowden?" And told her my wife thought he was cute and all that shit. She's like, "I don't know."
I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, probably future documentaries on different topics like I did in the past in regards to September 11th.
Documentaries? Have you done documentaries in the past, have you? Have you done a bunch of documentaries?
JFK stuff that I did, all of the stuff.
You guys missed it, and most people weren't here. I worked the Democratic phone bank for... I worked the Democratic phone bank for Western North Carolina one time. Under a pseudonym, and just at the time I was a Trump supporter, and I was working the Joe Biden phone bank trying to get people to vote for Trump, and worked the Democratic phone bank for a while. That was pretty good. Dick Pics documentary, that might be a thing.
Stuff that has been held back from us for many, many years. I'll still be reporting. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because the subscription that you may or may not be, subscribing to, even if you do get a year, I'm not going anywhere. I plan on doing this for quite a while.
That was that was during the election, right? That was probably like in October. It's like a month before the election. And when I get connected to somebody, I'd be like, how do you feel about MAGA? Make America Great Again. Have you thought about voting? And then the supervisor was listening to one of my calls. I don't know if they complained about me or they just randomly did it. The supervisor was listening to one of my calls and kicked me off. They sent me an email, told me they no longer need my services.
You guys will have me on your screen anyway. Once I see the numbers, drop to nothing, then that's a different story. But I'm not going anywhere. No matter who tries to do what to me or how many people try to tell you lies about me, I'm not going anywhere. Just so you know. All right, thank you guys for tuning in.
Well, I think it's all going to come out when fucking Jay was here. She says facts, laugh out loud. That'll all come out when none of this comes true. He's got to lose a gigantic portion of his audience when none of this happens. When the military doesn't drag Joe Biden out of the White House. I don't care if he says it's secret or it happened in the middle of the night or they looped the webcam and the news is not allowed to report on it. He's got to lose a big part of his audience.
I hope you enjoyed the live. I hope you take that. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, please like the Rumble video. Liking the Rumble video gets to help spread the algorithm all over the place, and more people will see me, and the audience will grow, which is exactly what all of us want. And like I said, please share this video on your...
Here's how I would always address someone telling me something that I didn't know whether to believe or not, okay? How much do they have to lose from it? Like, I can go cover other things, right? I saw this in... when Destiny recently debated some pro-life people, and he's pro-choice up to 20 weeks, which he believes is probably like the lower end of when consciousness starts, like you actually start experiencing like human-like thoughts, you're aware. And the other two people were pro-life, anti-abortion, whatever you want to say. And they had these massive businesses and nonprofits, and he said, like, you're so invested in this, you could never change your position. You'll lose your job. You'll lose everything. You'll lose all your support. You lose your followers. But I could change my position. I could be like, oh, well, you know, now I'm kind of pro-life. Now I think you should wait till 25 weeks, or now I think you should have to do it within the first trimester, or whatever. Same, like, I can cover anything. There's a ton of crazy people on the internet. I could cover anybody. I could do anything. Phil can't just come out and say, oh, it's a lie. I changed my position. It's not happening. Donald Trump, he would lose everything, his empire. He would lose everything. He's stuck in this position. So it's beneficial to him to keep you hanging on longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and longer and believing. It's not beneficial to me whether you quit believing in QAnon or not. You're probably not going to like my content anyways. I've seen you guys clutch your pearls when I bounce out of that nice young Asian man's butthole. Like, I get it. Y'all are not going to be my fans anyways.
Yet, please like the Rumble video. Liking the Rumble video gets to help spread the algorithm all over the place, and more people will see me, and the audience will grow, which is exactly what all of us want. And like I said, please share this video on your
that's what all of us
social media channels. We want this spread as far as we could. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. I will see you on Thursday. Thursday's my next live. As of right now, it's going to be at 9 p.m. I don't anticipate that changing, but if it does, I'll let you know right away. Thanks.
Yes, Mike Penny's still around, but he is in he's on Patriot Party News or whatever that thing is. What's it called? Patriot Party. What's the website Mike Penny's on? Is it Patriot Party News? You love to brag, Phil. I own this car, that car. I have a home here, and there. But I've suffered. So what? You will too one day. Shut up, troll. Go find a rock to crawl under. Jealous, cork it. Cork it! I'm going to go home and pork Mariah. Pork it! If you can't handle what he says, stop watching him. This is not a brag. It's a tale, and he deserves every bit of it too. Eagle, scale, us. You people are clueless. It shows what you are focused on. Fantastic, incredible intel, and you can't get past someone's success. This is your focus. That speaks way more about, like, this Christine R17 is going to have a fucking meltdown. He deserves every bit of it. I personally sent him thousands of dollars. She's going to have a meltdown if her husband doesn't murder her when he finds out how much she sent. DL Nasara. Stop sounding like a jealous little biatch. D-Jew. Jealousy is a sin. Go get a job and stop hating. And if you have one, good for you. That was very polite, Mr. Doug S. You have a here or there. Someone had to be jealous. Someone had to be the jealous troll. I'm glad it was you. Then stop following him, troll. Jesus is for Trump to... What an account. So I will leave you with one more thing that I'm sure you guys will enjoy. This is going to be our outro. I think it's probably maybe the best rendition of a musical piece. He's on Rumble too. Rumble Truth Seekers 88. I didn't know he's on Rumble. I know he's on Patriot Party News or whatever it is, PPN. He's on that website. Here we go, boys. Oh, wait. We got to get back to the beginning. Did it start that quick?
The strong arm of God.
This is one of Phil's followers. They thanked her for this video and called it a blessing.
The strong arm of God guides you through.
Guide you through.
Our founding fathers smiled down on you.
I would rather listen blindfolded to my family being tortured in the next room over while I'm being interrogated by ISIS than listen to this. But it's fun.
You're not lawyers,
just men who care about the mess we're in.
You're not lawyers, just men who care about the
Pick up
mess
the
we're in.
pieces of broken America, put her back together again. Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes. Plant a petition and then watch it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land, guided by God's strong hand. Hear the trumpets playing.
Hear the trumpets playing.
Hear the trumpets sound.
Hear them sound.
Brunson versus Adams ain't about the right or the left.
It ain't about the right or the left.
It's for us little people.
Us little people.
Politicians neglect.
We're neglected by the politicians.
They grant themselves sovereign immunity.
Sovereign immunity. That's what they got.
Trample on our sacred constitution.
They've trampled on it.
And national security.
And national security. What the fuck is going on? You better start playing. Oh my God. They've shut her down. They've shut her down, boys. It was too good.
For us little
we're back.
people, politicians neglect.
Bad syllable management. That's a very good
They
description.
grant themselves sovereign immunity.
Sovereign immunity.
Trample on our sacred
Thank you, Rochelle.
constitution and national security.
I gotta get back in the swing of Patreon videos, so I might not be live every day anymore.
Everyday heroes.
Everyday heroes.
You plant a petition and then watch it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land, guided by God's strong hand. Hear our heartbreak and every letter we write. Hope the highest court in the land will do what is right. Bronson Brothers never give up on me or you. And a court so supreme can't give
I brought a tear to my eye. You can't see it because of glasses, but I'm crying.
Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes. Plant a petition and you watch it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land, guided by God's strong hand. Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes.
You want to see what she looks like? I'll show you what she looks like. Hold on. She looks like this.
The strong arm of God guides you through. Our founding fathers smile down on you. You're not lawyers, just men who care about the mess we're in. Pick up the pieces of broken America, put it back together again. Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes.
It's much faster now for some reason.
And you watched it grow all the way to the highest court in the land.
I don't have it sped up. It's much faster.
God's strong hand. Hear the trumpets playing. Hear the trumpets sound.
Or I like catch up on her steak.
Ain't about the right or the left. It's about all of us little people, politicians.
I like this camera work.
They grant themselves
Zooming in again.
sovereignty.
Here we go.
Back out.
Okay.
National security. Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes. Whoa, plant a petition and you watch it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land. Whoa, guided by God's strong hand. Your heart break. Every letter we
Defeating a criminal who tries to attack you is surprisingly simple. You just need to follow the Romanian Rambo's.
Shut up, Romanian Rambo.
give our need for you. And a court so supreme can't give up on us too. Whoa, Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes. Whoa.
I have a question. Do you think I can convince Phil into a creator clash boxing match? We could box each other. And do you think that this would be the song that I could walk out to?
Plant a petition and you watched it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land. Whoa, guided by God's strong hand. Bronson Brothers, everyday heroes. Whoa, plant a petition, you watched it grow. All the way to the highest court in the land. Whoa, guided by.
I might just plan a cordial boxing match, then not tell him. And then just show up. Just show up, punch him in the mouth, be like, "Oh, that was our boxing match. I'm sorry. That was mutual combat, Phil.
Strong hand.
It's a surprise boxing match."
It's playing. Hear the trumpets sound. Can you hear the trumpets playing? Corruption's crumbling down. Hear the trumpets playing. Freedom makes the sweetest sound.
I can't believe there's people just walking by her like she's not a fucking crazy cunt.
Heck yes.
Heck yes. Heck yes. This dedicated with love and free hugs to the Brunson brothers, D-Ron, Gaynor, Loy, and Rayland. And to everyday heroes on both sides of the aisle. Who cares about doing the right thing? I think she's a celebrity here. She ought to join our fucking... If she got booted from Phil's Telegram, she ought to join ours. We'll roll out the red carpet. See if we can't get her hooked up with Johnny Gobble. I hear he's going to have a recording studio in his Section 8 apartment. Thank you guys for joining us. We almost paid a light bill. I think it's down to like $2.90. $2.90 left, and they didn't cut them off, so we got another day. That's all I can promise you. I don't know. They might cut them off in the morning before I even get here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. We'll see you about the next one. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag has
No encore. That's it. Go away.
You don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets.
I'm waking back with Bull and Jessa tomorrow. Or watch my live stream with my camera bolted to a weed eater on TikTok.
Strapped to the shaft, eating this chest like
an AI weed eater.
For attention, I'm gonna make your gut burst.
I never get tired of that song. No one does. It's amazing.
Baby.
Brunson Brothers, everyday heroes.
Retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit.
I wouldn't tell you if I was, bullshiffer.
That stage is set. You better buckle up, cause
You trying to ride my coattails, motherfucker?
find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. My mom's an alcoholic. Oh, give me oh my God. Damn it. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set.
See you guys, I gotta go. It's time to go splay Mariah out.
Piss them off, it's about
She's gonna be fucking pinned back, look like when you take a dead insect and pin it to a board to inspect it.
none yet. Round 3. Down goes.
God, that's hot. I gotta remember that when I get home.
Backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things are getting rocking, he was doing so well. It's all over, hands on his shoulders, they ringing his bell. You got